in the right section, you can prevent of hitting the Medusa. And she has Dragon Lance and the traditional the Medusa will be able to hit from far enough to evade those Phantom Rushes from the PL. And ideally you stop the agility extra gain, which is also pretty strong here. It's all going to depend on really, really good execution though by Fenrir. Sorry, man, but I'm the caster. The job is not to shut up and to constantly give help and analyze, but sorry about that. If you want to watch it, you feel free to mute it and stop commenting. As well, take towers pretty quickly, even if she can take wolves. And the question as well is, with Paparazzi, will he want to go for the here to try to get for the extra region as well, or will the Enchantress deter him from going for that choice creep, making it a pretty useless? Paparazzi will have to make that choice later on for Shapeshift. It's also beat SCCC super early with crits from Necronomicon units. You have that option, and even PL you can do so. That's what you'll be looking for here. And of course, in here you have an offlane Enchantress, which, like I said, well, that's able to get last hits, but careful with the Lycan up against a Sanking and a Phoenix, mainly because of the low range of Burst Strike, and of course the animation that's pretty telling. I wonder what he'll do. So the offensively in this lane, allowing him to at least stop the PL, because the Enchantress won't have that ability, especially if he goes for Stout Shield. Also, Young will be able to evade the Spirit Lance in time with the Phase Shift. Could at least annoy Mugi, which is what you're looking for. And well, actually, what? You know what I'm always surprised by? Kaipi speaks perfect English and perfect Chinese. Hard. I know that obviously his parents and he immigrated to Australia, but it's still really impressive. Every time I hear him speak, and he has this proper Australian, proper Chinese, proper Australian, and the kid. I'm a big fan of Kaipi world. Very underestimated. He's the new universe, Chinese universe. I mean, he's done Newbee iteration. Yes, they lost to Liquid 3-0, but they still got second in TI. That's impressive. Yeah, if you like Scottish or the UK, for example, in America, you can really tell the Australian. I love that accent. It's the coolest thing. I want to have a beer with this guy. So Kaipi has that feel to him. I just feel like I want to, obviously, because maybe he misses a very chill accent. Very much enjoy it. Sadly, I had the American one. Oh well, you can only pick and choose when you're Spanish. You just take what you get. With this, hopefully the pause isn't live. They said it in Chinese probably, and there's probably a reason. One day I'll learn Chinese just to be able to cast these matches, and I'll be bilingual for four languages, whatever, caster. I hate how Chinese always pause at the start of the game. American teams. Oh, game has started. We should understand why they do this. It's because the South American crappy computers that run on gerbil speed for them, and it's so unfortunate. It really freezes for some of them, and they have to pause. Like, guys, we haven't all loaded in Windows 98, so just give us like 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, Chinese teams pause, sure, but Peruvian teams, man, it's gonna be like 4 minutes of that. There's not often, though. Their like games tend to be so long, and I've never seen this before. 3 pauses, all for the bathroom, because it's. And I understand, man. I can't cast, but I understand if you're playing, you're excited, especially if you want to make sure that your bladder is empty. I have money, I will follow. Thank you. But yeah, I do appreciate anyone following me, of course, and whatnot. And if you're gonna subscribe, do join the Discord so I can describe those to you earlier. Spanish girl, I love it. I have it for my Spanish viewers, and now in English it's sounding in the world, especially if you write in proper English. So it's fine. And if you subscribe, like Spanish classes, calendar, software engineering, etc. I've already said this all before. Traditionally better. I don't bet in the games I cast, but I do have a pretty nice success rate. Small bets mainly. Better trying to make me that anyway. And yeah, multi-language, multicultural Discord. I know it's beautiful. If you wanted to have a Peruvian, not only in your games, but also interact with a Peruvian community at a deeper level, join that channel. Alright. No, that's Newbee. Finally, on pauses. Thank God. So the game is going to start. Now that the pause screen is not over, we get a full... These guys. It's Vici Gaming against Newbee. It's 2 Chinese classics, 2 Chinese types. Newbee M, Newbee Y, Newbee 60J, or whatever. It's not Vici Gaming. It's just the traditional, good old Vici Gaming and Newbee. So, you're in the Radiant side. Paparazzi on the Lycan in the carry position. On the Lion, second support here. 2 veterans of the Chinese scene on the Clockwork. The Medusa played by Ori here in the mid-11. Used to be called Old 11. Found a new anti-aging cream. And, jaunt to the Ore, perfectly using the vision to escape this attack. So, Young 11. As for Newbee, we have Kaka on his masterful Sanking away from him. SCCC as his Shadow Fiend. As the second support, Faith is going to be playing the position 5 Phoenix. The carry, Mr. Phantom Lancer, played by Mugi. Played by the Australian Chinese will not be playing today because Newbee is not playing any games. But luckily, we still get top squad. They got second. I never get tired of mentioning it because they are they're just very, very consistently amazing. Either win streak or maybe it's Vici Gaming who actually manages to beat them for the first time, as they have not lost too many, but still, it's strong, especially in the tier 2 scene. It's not the tier 2 scenes. So beating a bunch of tier 2 Chinese teams actually is pretty impressive. Going between the lanes, just a bit of harassment, and looking at how the lanes are going, it seems like dual lane for now. Or not necessarily predicting this, but solid Shadow Fin going bottom. They adapt to it, joining down Young 11 here in the bottom lane. With level 1 cog damage nerf recently on the Clockwork, he's not so good at doing this cog skill. Battery because of the fact that you need that extra damage. Stuns anyway. No, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate that, Rotten Penny. Thank you for sharing, honestly. Anyway, Ori will be alone. Should be okay, actually. Mystic Snake is strong, but so is the Spirit Lance. So, like, no one really putting that much aggression. Frankly, now, the lack of experience is going to screw him a bit over. Them to go for a Kaka, perhaps. Perfect still available. Going to keep getting stunned. Young 11. Kerr, seeing that there's no chance to get the kill into the Sand King. Well, sees Landham. But Faith takes it. Higher APM. The Earth Spike. A couple more hits. Faith has no armor, so that's a lot of damage from the line. And the Icarus dive last second by and stopping the potential, Earth Spike X, whatever, from coming out. Icarus level 1 is a pretty low health, so it's understandable he didn't try to do that. Young 11 in the bottom lane about to die, but Fenrir coming in with the cogs. And to get the first blood on Fenrir anyway. Sunray guesses exactly where he is, and now Manfight with only 5 HP remaining for the station, even if it was ruined after by the puck. But it's still one of the position 5s that's probably greediest in the game. Usually want to get it. He does have a really nice talent, which warrants his position 5. Scuttling about. But initial kill on Young 11. They're putting a lot of pressure on this lane for just being a puck. Man's is doing himself really well in the mid lane, so they're not too concerned about him. And I guess they're really concerned right now, especially in the long lane. And now Fenrir being hit by the Sun Ray. The burst going to survive this engagement. And see if Young 11 can. He will jaunt away. And Fenrir goes forward. Newbee responds by sending their supports down. And predict these ganks because obviously you're a Clockwork. You have to get close to them. And punish here by Newbee. And now they go for Young 11. Young 11, I don't think Kaka knows this. You can't burst strike, obviously, in the off chance that there's a phase shift there. Meanwhile, in terms of last hits, Lycan actually up to the mid matchup to really decide this mid game. However, you have Adusa, who is 8, and Phantom Lancer, who is pretty much set once you get lights. He peaks kind of around whenever it gets Diffusal Blade, around mid 12, 13. Then it's really strong till like mid 20, and Gold Growth for everyone else. And then afterwards starts to fall off because Diffusal Blade's not that strong, so he needs to farm a bit further. So this Puck matchup, after all, Shadow Fiend Puck is a classic. Fenrir, it's 15 ticks, right? So 15 times 25. Well, Iron 4. That's a lot for Battery Assault. That's all magical damage. Oof. And in he goes. It's only Battery Assault level 1, though, unfortunately. Not gonna have to. And as a result, they're gonna have to let the Sand King go. I mean, better if you get them in the right position, right? As long as they don't stop. Versus Tri-Lane situation, I actually quite like. Because, like I said, Lycan can pretty much stay alone and get a lot of farm, though. Which is why Newbee picked this Phantom Lancer. They go in for the poor Sand King, but everyone is running away from poor Fenrir. His choices immediately runs away. Hit by the last raise, but the last hit should be enough. He starts one last phase shift. Will evade that last pick in the trees. Illusory Orb available. John to the trees. Okay. He stays in the lane. And with that, Vici Gaming now finally rotates. Is now threatening Fenrir. Wow. 3 impetus. Fenrir's gone. And Enchantress taking the tower. They put so much pressure onto the in the mid game is going to be all really big. Away from an impetus that deals more damage the more you run away from it. That is just a super. That prevents your free running, your sprinting. Lycan is very similar. If you think of Lycan, he's very similar in the way he's played to, like, and having to turn on all the time. Your turn rate starts to affect you. Oh, actually, first we'll go for the Enchantress. Might be quick. But Fenrir does not have enough damage to make up for the guy. People just take the rune and walk away. Right. Lycan is similar to a sprinter in real life, but as soon as he has turn, you forget, meaning now you're affected by turn rate on top of your super fast movement speed. Which means that when you force the Lycan to have to play lane, you are putting the Lycan in a difficult good, and you can actually catch him with proper Blink Dagger usage. Which is why, but with the right timing on her items, can become a real threat to the Lycan. And, yeah, I went into teaching mode fully, but I really real life. I found that Dota could just use more logic. One day, I will wait for the patch where a Morphling gets invisible again and stop casting it. Alright, Young 11 is going to be getting a bottle early just for that sustain in lane. Doing too well, meaning no Veil Discord for this puck, that Blink Dagger to get that initiation. Kaka sees the potential kill here, by the way, and they burst strike him successfully. That's a 2 for the hunt, and they find S-Triple-C. There's the War Stop as well from the Helmet Dominator. S-Triple-C does not have Requiem. He has to just run away on Paparazzi, and the impetus punishes the Wolf. Kaipi, great rotation. Newbee start to take the domination in this game. Kaipi, like I said, a ray from the spear that follows you everywhere. You also can't destroy it, so that's another. Meanwhile, Phantom Lancer, during all the space that's been given to him, he's lost against Dusa in the lane as well, especially against Illusions, but now is able to farm jungle safely anyway. And since Kaipi's going to be giving you space, and he's done those kills, I mean, this is going to be perfect for them. He even went for a 4-staff super early, which is going to give him mobility and engagements. S-Triple-C in the middle lane, he farm that's lost by Phantom Lancer. He can't deal with the Dusa either, but he can farm this snake, which is likely, as that increases our farming speed. And then the Shadow Fiend can make up for that by taking all the raids, all the creeps that go near the tower. And actually, that's clever. Both things really give Newbee a competitive edge. Thinking, well, Young 11 is certainly going to die. The Phoenix not even concerned about you. I mean, the chance that they can kill him is quite low, even with an Enchantress burst like that last. Knows something blocked him there, and it wasn't just his pathing. Oh, there's no dust either. And he's just going to go back to the town here. I'm going to go back to the tower, not be unsafe. Granted, without the Shadow was a fair amount, but impetus is just not enough. So it's probably the worst hero to fight against as Enchantress. He's going to strike Medusa and the Lycan in both difficult positions. Imagine when the Lycan jumps out. Ooh, Kaipi. Not expecting that Mystic Snake, a fair amount of damage. But he can, so he should be fine. Apologies if I pause sometimes. Mostly sneezing and whatnot because of sickness. Anyway, Paparazzi, they already got that ultimate off. That's a pretty long cooldown in level 1. That's 2 whole. Since you're up for 12 seconds, it's Newbee, forced that ultimate out, happy with themselves, now can push this tower. Ori, burst strike. Ori, careful with the impetus, blocking him down. Look at his mana just deplete quickly. Mystic Snake really helping out there. And Kanem has no way to do this with Enchantress. In comes the Kaipi immediately. And can they kill over the Mystics for this? As the puck comes in to join the team fight, they get a beautiful Earth Spike. And that stops this Enchantress. And now they can still, they don't want to fight, they have to destroy the egg. And they kill in, destroying the Lion, and proceeding against Ori. Do you really want to fight against a Phantom? But at this point, Mugi will get 2 free kills pretty much. Seeing the puck walk away, he decides to just instead farm. However, Newbee takes the slight upper hand. That, of course, it's a mid versus mid matchup. Losing your Shadow Fiend here, not as important, I would argue. You really can't falter with Dusa. You have to stay on top of the Phantom Lancer at all times. Otherwise, as we've just... And here in the bottom lane, careful, Young 11, close to the... Evading the Berserk with a waiting ring, just literally silence him. That's the way to be. Take the advantage, or they still have the advantage, obviously, in this early game. And they're going to probably stick in her build, or the Lycan as well, delaying this Necronomicon. Don't know how good that choice is going to be, as Enchanted. And there's a creep that you can't use, pretty much. I don't... Like, he has to be really clever with his Helmet Dominator. You have the Wolves anyway, so... It's scouting, but... As the game progresses, you care less and less. The Wolves are only Lycan as Howl, and, well, other little buffs for them, like the Shapeshift crit. Besides that, you don't really... Helmet Dominator is quite a viable creep in general. Medusa manages to deny this tower. That's pretty good. Team, and they even take a tower in the top lane. However, puck gonna go down for Newbee. Now, longer range, meaning they can utilize vision to their advantage, and surprise, I'm out in time. Diffusal blade now on Mugi. Like I mentioned, diffusing now Paparazzi. Gonna be harassed ever so slightly. Yeah, but that net gonna be kind of annoying there. Helmet Dominator is still pretty useful. However, they see a nice steer is on the hunt, turns into the lycanthrope form, going for Kaipi. A lot of damage from the tower unnecessarily. It's going to be the creep taken from the Enchantress. Shapeshift completely wasted as the guys from Newbee continue to push in the bottom lane. Tower trade, but ends up being absolutely, well, nothing. There was no victims there. You wasted a Shapeshift. Pretty bad for you gone in or not. But I think once they saw the bad initiation, they realized it was a bad... You already wasted your ultimate once that happened. So, again, it's only farm really, really aggressively as they can force out the... bring it down with the slows. Now, fighting this till the end, and Finger of Death. Poor Phantom Lancer gets fingered and destroyed. And without Mugi, unhappy with how that went, we'll be losing a lot of... We have 3 heroes for Fenrir. He won't survive. And that's a support kill at least. Slight revenge kill. Lan and Dance, or whatever. And they're able to equal the scores like carry Phantom Lancer, which is a very important kill. Game for S-Triple-C on the Shadow Fiend has finally stabilized. He is given by a lot. If he's the carry, technically he's winning in the carry wars. It's Shadow Fiend, as was expected. You know, if you silence the Shadow Fiend, they have Shadow Fiend traditionally goes for BKB and can deal a lot of damage there. And of course, not so easy. Even with the Yule Scepter, which has one of the highest strength gains in the game, meaning if you itemize this Eternal Envy build that actually does work on a Lycan, and stop your damage from coming in, and force your Yule Scepter to be a useless looking for. Of course, you can always kill the Dusa with that, but similar idea. Lycan can always go for 5 cast, so I do like the physical damage build. More advantage of things like, well, potential medallions and whatnot in your team. Nobody's going to really magical damage your team anyway. That's going to be... Let's see. A Lion Illusion goes in. Oh, I'm going to attack the Roshan too. I'm helping you guys. Don't attack guys. And of course, this is impossible. They cannot fight this. And the Roshan must have a girlfriend breaking up with you. You know it's inevitable. You just watch it happen. You cry. But Aegis taken by Mugi as well. Makes him a harder hero to kill. A Phantom God with immortality. Now he's actually a real one. Because he gets 2 lives. Which is what he looks like to me most of the time. And Newbee, now frankly, with a Shadow Fiend Hurricane Pike he's set. He might want his BKB though before the team fight, which might be acquired before. Mugi doesn't really need the Manta Style for the one. The spell is the Silence, which is only one of. Oh, you want to, and you can beat her in the early game. You want to put pressure before she Maelstrom straight up. Usually Medusa's way to increase her farming speed as she's decided that she's going to go for this anyway. And this in the late game can actually deal with the Phantom Lancer pretty efficiently. Modifiers, whew, wait for that. There's a guaranteed chance of at least 1 life speed Mjolnir gives you, and her decent stat gain in general, her agility that she usually grabs by items, and pretty much a Zeus player here on Medusa. Well, this Paparazzi though does do a pretty good job of taking down some the farming or the gold experience. Ooh, evading this hook shot, but just making quick. Careful of the illusory orb, using the sandstorm for vision, and Puck got played like a fiddle. He even uses a smoke for the extra movement speed. Let's just watch Puck for a second, where Lion decided to commit suicide. They're very frustrated that they lost the kill in the middle, lost the kill in the bottom lane, and they even lost the support in the middle lane. That means no equal. Like in split pushes to put pressure onto towers yourself. Kaipi being the only one protecting it to run away. Best thing to do really here mid lane to try to make up for the gold difference that Lycan can create. However, Lycan not having the ultimate farm mainly for, you know, once those towers start falling and they have to go. Yes, Lycan can take the high ground, but it's going to start being more and more difficult and you get more towers to take. We'll be able to... I mean, they have a Hurricane Pike actually on the enchant. For a second, I was like, wait, how did he... club go? Because I thought it was going for BKB. Turns out it's obviously for Dragon. I mean, but the Hurricane Pike will push him away if he does it in time or gets a 3-4 impetus on, which is not bad for Lycan. You know, force him into... Does have the chance of TPing to a different lane and join after pushing a tower, which is horrendous. Like, he's a pit lord in miniature. He just has like a small movement. You can definitely do that. And Necronomicon, you force the Enchantress stay there and create a 5 versus 4 engagement, which would definitely benefit Vici. The Enchantress being able to at least deal enough damage for actually pretty important. As I'm assuming Kaipi will be the main defender against the damage, so it's a good idea to go for that. That said, Newbee right now, not a big lead at all, and the Deuce is still topping the net worth. He's really close to that Mjolnir. Obviously, complete glass cannon, and Mjolnir is great for team fights, but if you can't protect the Deuce, you're going to be in trouble. They go for Deuce first. They could definitely destroy her. Yeah, Stone Gaze, obviously, will give her a bit more time, and Mjolnir with... Let's not forget that Mjolnir damage is mitigated by Stone Gaze itself, as its magical damage, dealing damage to the auto attacks. Ooh, Paparazzi goes up. Yeah, just attack him. Another thing to do. Dream Cold to keep it in. It's going to be a team... He's stunned out, but a beautiful burst strike stops the initiation, and he missed micros there. He's still alive. Young 11 kept behind. In addition to that supernova, they reset the team fight entirely. Will be the next victim here, thanks to the Sunray. Meanwhile, Paparazzi, well, that was fodder, as Newbee take down 3, turn this around entirely, and even allow the Shadow Fiend to survive. One left field with the Blink Dagger, gets 2 with it. There was no... Just really well positioned, Kaka, and I guess bad positioning by Newbee. That's how you win this game, by punishing them entirely. Lycan has been... It's like a dog, actually. Literally like a dog, because you're teaching him the wrong way not to do those things about it, in all honesty. Lycan has to consider, well, is this shapeshift going to yield me a suicide here? When you put defensively, you take away someone's Lycan's power. That confidence is important for the Lycan. But the question is, can he actually use the shapeshift anymore to, you know, split around sinking? They're able to stop him from now on, and they have a lot of burst damage. On top of that, Newbee has clearly been just stopping the split, so confident that Phantom Lancer can take her on in that late game. Lycan build, hell of a Dominator and Necronomicon. Actually interesting, because this is the build that everyone runs in China. Eternal Envy has made an impact here. He's taking advantage of the crits for Necronomicon units, the extra War Stomp usually. Yes, Centaur is usually what you want to take. extra damage, but it's usually that War Stomp from the Fiend could be destroyed. Finger Death already used, so thanks to that Stone Gaze, it was forced away, and Newbee managed to win here. Paparazzi tried to TP away. This is because he forced it earlier. Acknowledging that, takes the, or stops the burst. With the Mjolnir can also push really quickly. Let's not forget that, even if you only get one charge for now. Still pretty impressive. I actually didn't even... How did they kill Young 11? No, they just found him in a bad position. Blink Dagger burst, like, okay. Support fight! Two heroes fighting against each other, sorry. But he actually comes, Medusa joins in. And of course, the rich person has to come here and separate them. The way to do this. It's a class of society we live in. Now, Lycan still stop some of the Shadow Fiend damage, but Shadow Fiend going for the physical damage build, like I said. I mean, I literally predicted this build from like SCCC, and it seems like he still went for it, which is odd, because there's not that much magical damage. To some degree, the raises, but since he's going to hit harder with his physical damage, to go for raises. And now, Vici Gaming, between the Medusa and the Lycan. It does seem like Ori is at least maintaining himself very high in terms of net worth in that regard, but still 4,000 away for the Deuce. Scotty about to build on Ori, which is going to help him quite a lot to survive. Well, she did go for the 800 mana talent, so I mean, sometimes you want the extra Stone Gaze, or 800 mana. That ambulance, if you can hear it, is definitely coming. Okay, Newbee not aware. They find Kaka first, they can stop the initiation. Can they kill him in time? Maybe not. Yeah, as he's just going to get decimated. They have to run towards him. Hookshot stopping the rest. Doing this to prevent the team from recurring, but now the chase from behind from the Lycan. A Supernova, absolutely wasted. And Duza still has the Stone Gaze, so it's not the time to fight. Bird, but instead, the cat, Mugi. But they don't want to go too far and sacrifice their heroes. They're back away. Newbee continuing this aggression now, seeing that it's their opportunity to kill. But the shrine is activated, and Faithkin almost dies to the Comic-Con creeps. Happy about himself, but now it's Paparazzi facing so many. Young 11 turning this without Hoppa Sproinkin of whatever the Enchantress does is trying to run away desperately. Do they have enough damage? Illusory bam! Complete that kill. However, Shadow Fiend about that. But Dusa managing to get kills in the team fight, surviving by the way, which is definitely a mistake by Newbee fighting the other shrine. And on top of that, and increasing, and the disparity between much bigger, sorry. And now, starting to get hit. The Epicenter is prepared, wagging his tail. The hookshot misses. Nice, nothing. Okay. Clockwork though doesn't like living, so Fenrir likes life more exciting. As Vici, for a second I thought he was creating space for Puck, but didn't seem like it really. I think that was the plan, but anyway, that happened. It's only support, not a big deal. Vici Gaming don't put enough Paparazzi in a team fight, you know, sacrifice, but they can still continue the split push. And now the 1K lead by Newbee is barely sufficient. Oh, Freelance Dota is in my chat. Hi dude, how you doing? Love your casts. By Paparazzi, or starting to get finished by Paparazzi. After Pipe, always first Magic Resistance, then Magic Immunity. That's the build. And then I've been having a lot of trouble with those. Supernova used his own at Young 11. He might even go down. Yep, in a matter of seconds. As the Supernova stuns the Roshan for extra bonus, and Sunray helping out. In comes the Medusa. They want to take this. Yet it's on the ground like the cheese. They try to take it, and the Phantom Lancer manages. Rear turns the steam fight around entirely. The cheese was taken by Phantom Lancer, turned anyone into stone, and they couldn't click. Vici Gaming really turned this team fight around and is now in the mid lane. Paparazzi together with Ori can take this really quickly to the fall, and they can definitely threaten tier 3s. Go Medusa says Ori, the hero of them, assigned to go lanes perhaps, so they can stop the initiation. Alright, that's tier 3 is definitely more damage. That's the Necronomicon as well helping out, but you don't want to stay too long. Epicenter doesn't count for them. They take an Necronomicon creep, or Fenrir again creating some space. And Vici Gaming trying to hunt the KB in 7 seconds, or he has to last till then. No HP means Medusa. He catch a very important kill here. Luckily, she still has buyback. Kaka, however, will be running between the trees to ensure that the impetus cannot be thrown against them. Well, the most important hero, Medusa, is dead. However, Newbee cannot take advantage of an objective. There's no tier 2s really to take except for the top one. And it's not that important. Okay, what Lanham fighting move. Finger of Death, try with all their might, and the Hexed Up Fish. No, they take enough seconds to actually use that ability. 11 evades the burst like last second, has to illusory orb, blink away perhaps, is going to be successful. Young 11 getting enough space between Phantom Lancer, whew, but the Shrine luckily saved him. Fenrir harassed by Supernova, impetus to finish him off, so Supernova will not stun him in the end. My heart is actually beating really quickly. This is the kind of quality. Every time that you see even more incredible play or an incredible misplay by one of the teams, they know each other so well. Clearly, they know their paths. So teams acknowledging that they know each other's strategy, frankly. And on top of that, you know, they're both around the same. I would argue they're not. Perhaps some would argue that Newbee's much better, but they're both top-tier Chinese teams. So it's really exciting to watch these kind of matchup whenever it's not Virtus Pro, because then they just win. So Newbee here demonstrating that the Chinese team aiming for those next lands, hopefully our ladder. So we're gonna see them soon enough as well. Hopefully we get a resurgence of China, because they have to win TI. I don't know what I'm gonna do in my life. That's the only thing I believe in. Like, believe in God or whatever. I believe in TI prophecy. That's the one thing that's always been true. So if the Chinese don't pick it, disappointed with Val, Vice Frog, whatever. SDA counts though, so I'll take that if Fnatic can manage to win, or whatever Eternal Envy is doing right now. Now, Shrine is going to be taken by Ori. Mask of Madness. Shrine goes down super after the Shrine. It's just time. After all, you you just stole. Next, Roshan comes with Refresh or perhaps double hook shot, worst case scenario. Maybe in some cases double finger of death. Answers is found, and with the Hex, there's nowhere for her to go. They even Water Stomper, savoring that kill. And taking her down to the graveyard. Maybe not go down, but they're definitely trying. And this is what I heard that backdoor protection was a thing, but I don't care about it. I'm gonna go for the tower anyway. So Vici Gaming, managed Newbee, who is a bit on the defensive. I mean, it's late game Dusa. Late game Dusa is threatening no matter what. With a split shot uses modifiers, that's pretty much you're playing Zeus. It's really scary. Reminds me of the Drow Range Dragon. Honestly, her talents are ridiculous. I don't know who 25 talent. 800 mana to make her the absolute tank, and then allow her to build. I don't even see why you would ever go for the +7 split shot target. No, I really don't see. Because even Mjolnir plus the modifiers is better to deal with quicker at level 25 for whatever reason. Anyway, Lycan himself, totally Lycan at this point. Trying to push towers, give some benefit to the Medusa. That extra armor will be really useful. Not good. Before we used to see what the... Well, there's actually a lot of builds. But usually damaging items to some degree. Assault Crest is really good for him in general, but because he doesn't have the damage to come with. Was not aware that they had a gem. I'm pretty sure they have a gem. Yeah, there was a gem on Puck. For that, picked up an Invis Room, was so happy about it. You know, proud of himself, and dies. Vici Gaming now. Puck really good. Late game is not bad for the supports in Vici Gaming either. Clockwork becomes more of a. I mean, Dusa. Puck actually with the 420 gold per minute is doesn't fall off late game too hard. Who actually provides a lot of stuns and just a utility in general. Meanwhile, Newbee, not the same. You know, the Phoenix and Sanking. And they go though for the Dusa, trying to annoy her. As the force step the Dusa forward because she wants to. Stonegate has not been used yet. Impetus hurting her quite a lot. Hookshot stopping the Enchanters, trying to stop the Impetus from being effective. And the Lycan just wants to kill. See, Supernova finally completed, and Vici for them. They have to retreat. Fenrir's all back to base as they lost 2 supports. Vici Gaming will acknowledge their mistake in time and correct it. Frankly, that was not the play. Maybe Vici Gaming. I have like because if he has actually, I never actually checked this. I'm pretty sure 4th does not go 4-7. That's my mistake. Because if not, I don't know. Give him the benefit of the doubt, and maybe he does go through BKB. There's Young 11 also going down. His offensive 4-staff is not. And now they do that relevant. Thanks to his Midas, he's able to get reliable farm. Well, not reliable gold, but reliable farm. Taking him down is just another kill, but he still has the buyback. So are you really gonna threaten something? Roshan's not up. He'll be back before Roshan comes back. And Paparazzi. BKB. They might have to consider canceling this because Lycan at this point is not incentivized to play in team fights. We're incentivized to just split push. Well, if you want to split push all the time, BKB TP is going to be your friend. Get Child Woods later, and the only way to stop it is Supernova, but Supernova takes ages. 6 seconds. Maybe on Phantom Lance or something like that to stop it would also be an option. Right? If they could hex him in time or deal enough. He has a pretty nice strength gain, and with his Pipe of Insight, he's tanky enough to sustain a lot of damage on the enemy team. Well, this Vici late game to occur, waiting for Ori to be 8 slotted, I suppose. There's really no rush to peak yet, but he's forced to go for items like Blink Dagger, for example. That's another reason why P is that good, is the fact that he does rely a bit on mobility items and those kind of Blink Dagger. Some people try to fix this a bit in China, especially, but with these kind of items, you lose stats, purely go for stat slot. And the Mask of Madness is useful, or even for a Butterfly if you don't need the life drain. And then it's a force to be reckoned with, because in the late game, whereas the other hero has a decent stat game for the most part. You know, not top, but not bad with stats on them. So Medusa does end up getting that advantage as well, even if it's an illusion-based hero. makes PL slightly weaker in the late game. I'm here right now. PL strong, but Illusion is genuinely. That is a really cool talent, by the way. Get the extra life out of Zing Shin. Fiona immediately, they try to counter this, but the Stone Gaze stop, and they're successful. S-Triple-C, but does nothing but delay the inevitable. That is the team wipe that's going to happen to Newbee right now. Mugi, the one to get away in time, and it's just going to be a 4-man wipe for Vici Gaming. Oh, no, he just went in. Dream Cold, they were stuck there for the duration of the Stone Gaze. Couldn't even turn away properly. Herself for the Wrecking of Souls, allowed themselves to stop, which would have delayed her damage by 50% to that team fight. That's a free Roshan, refresher for the... And of course, no cheat. Wait, I expected that. Now Lanim is God. Lanim is our carry from now on as well. Medusa, no, she can't die. So what's the point of getting immortality if you can't die? Of course, the 2 cores. Vici Gaming wanna go for the tower here in the mid lane. Won't be in touch with Paparazzi. Clever, honestly. You can't defend multiple lanes like this. The Hex up really a downgrade, but he's still quick. In time, evades the burst, like a lot of damage to him. Eats the cheese and continues to fight. No stone now. They're on the retreat, but they still have the Stone Gaze. You'll have to prevent this from happening. Try to kill the rest. It's finally committed. The Stone Gaze of the enemy team. Newbee can still chase them down, but they have to wait for the ultimate to end. A pink little orb means that they can now go in freely without the fear of the Dream Coil. But the vision for the enemy team can still do the same thing with another one. No need for it. A play there by very well played by Vici Gaming, frankly. I think resurgence. I've talked to a lot of people and they think that Vici Gaming, they're having a slight resurgence, especially against Chinese teams. I think it's a bit hard to gauge, but seeing much more stable performances, consistent performance. Great addition. And Ori has been playing really well as well. Glad that he's not, like, that's doubling his hero pool. It's pretty good. It's not that unversatile of a player. In comparison with IG, who's been gaming Luminuses, you see, there's a reason why there's 16 Vici Gaming teams for some reason, and 3 of them are... Oh, no, there's IG Vitality as well. Sorry, I forgot about that. They're IG Vitality. Actually, probably better than normal IG. Currently, some would argue. Orchid is going to be the next item for... Oh, actually, with the split shot uses modifiers, I'm pretty sure you can get crit on everything, and hit them directly with a split shot. You should be able to crit whatever you're Bloodthorning anyway. Should be the case, because that's how it usually works. Bloodthorn's pretty useful, actually. This cancel Dream Coil onto 2, that's sufficient, and they can Phoenix, and they go with Stone Gaze, stopping whatever initiation the enemy team had planned. Shadow Fiend, in fact, first victim, and the hunting Paparazzi can't find anyone else. However, Kaipi forced to go to the wrong base. The episode, and Ori, he's the important target. Everyone. And meanwhile, in this mid lane, Lanim using his Aegis to get some time. Newbee had to... I mean, Aegis is wasted, I guess, on Lanim, but it's really just a double line. You know, not too concerned about your enchant without buyback with that. Go up to the Clockwork. Has so many slows to that bounty rune. Slowly but steadily grabs it. Feels cheeky about it. What a play. Second, and now they try to stop the Medusa. The illusion's still hitting Fenrir, but without the mana burn. Barely, and Mugi going down. He's out of mana. He can't do anything. Noble top for him. He's the most important hero right now, and he's been stuck in the Dream Coil. Destroyed. There's no buyback for this Phantom Lancer, and there's no buyback because he used them for the towers to fall. Newbee has just lost the 3 hero ground, and they only have a Shadow Fiend left to deal that carry this team on his back. Well, actually, I feel like going and pushing. Doesn't have buyback, and Enchantress, you know, doesn't have buyback. Take your time. No rush. It's a chill game. You know, roll up, prepare for the game. Probably either waiting up for Lion to really initiate. I was kidding around. Not too much in a rush because the Enchantress is concerning, but obviously getting that kill is super important regardless. Oh, okay. Clockwork has a hook shot. Does he really want to use it against Kaka? Could prevent the epicenter. And now Vici Phantom Lancer comes back. They should still be able to take these towers. No creep, but they were unable to do so too effectively. Spike going for the bottom lane. This split push working out. Or Spike misses on everyone but one. Prevents the Wrecking of Souls. Hook shot. See, won't even be able to use the Wrecking Profane for 100 seconds. And Newbee still has 12 seconds till the Phantom Lancer comes back. Defend this. Vici Gaming running rampant structures. What are you gonna do? Vici Gaming just came to your house and pissed on your them. Take all your structures. Move. And yes, it takes down the Clockwork. Or should be able to, because Fenrir actually makes it out alive. The GG is up. Newbee, Vici Gaming, that is looking stronger. Newbee lose the first game of the best of if they want to have a chance of remaining in these winners brackets. Vici Gaming will be able to take the first game against Newbee. Fantastic job. Great performance. Game number 2 pretty shortly. I need to enjoy that game. It's quality Chinese Dota. This is why I cast the H Cup. These games, I'm so I'm glad that I've been able to do this. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the cast, feel free to follow me on Twitch and on Twitter. Feel free to subscribe and give me tips and stuff so I can buy some more coffee. Joining me anyway. And we'll come back with game number 2 pretty shortly. Stay tuned for the next game of the best of 3. We're in the corner, hoping to beat Vici game matchup to get at least a possibility at remaining in the win. Season 9. The winners brackets, best of 3 between Newbee and Vici Gaming. Both teams have been duking it out in this tournament, managed losses in the group stages, and now all the top Chinese team managing to win the first game of the best of 3. If Newbee want a chance at remaining gaming, and if not, they will be going to KGL for a possible elimination match. If we have a channel for as long as I've season 8, and we're going to continue to follow it till its completion, because I have no friends for you years. So, if you enjoy, the name is D Swordfish, and I'll be your cast for today. Let's see what the drafting is looking like for both teams. Newbee starting in the Bounty Hunter. You know, those bans, actually, Vici Gaming does and you want to prevent the Bane Elder Titan, we've already. Newbee has been picking up Omnight a lot, enabling multiple cores, as opposed to the Omnight, to prevent the potential Shadow Fiend pick. Still, Omnight very strong for them, as a lot of strong, like the Shadow Fiend or the OD. And you don't always need Awkward to make the Shadow Fiend viable. He's still strong in lane regardless. He's a pretty good pickup in general. Gaming, Tiny, a pick that we've been seeing whenever possible, really. His burst, he offers the roles of both initiator and carry by being damage, push, and initiation, because he's a little bit of versatility in the lanes. Not Vici Gaming, sorry. IG, and to some degree, even Newbee, has been the offlaner, because, like I said, and this allows more versatility when it comes to your draft, harder to actually discover. As for Newbee, in the drafting phase. As for Newbee, what will they combine with the Omnight? Not actually showing too much of the Omnight, unless they want to run the Omnight support. They're going to start out the Disruptor. Probably one of the best heroes to deal with a Tiny. Kinetic Field, very powerful, even before Tiny can join in. Usually, the reason why Tiny is so disgusting is because you either have vision of the area or Shadow Blades in the vision of the area for whatever reason. Kinetic Field, or even a Glimpse, can ensure that some Static Storm can also stop him from fighting to the death, which is super, super dangerous. Always let your enemy an escape route. Tiny, whenever he doesn't have an escape route, he pursues and throw people everywhere, almost getting a kill, if not 2, by not allowing him to use those abilities, which are being strong as well. Doom banned out by Newbee, straight up. Big Night Stalker, quite nice. Fenrir really does love this Night Stalker and land him one of the best confident picks. I mean, these guys are veterans, so most picks they can run properly. Laning especially, and the Tiny is hard to gank him with a Rubik. Stalker offers a lot of ganking potential in the East. You win 2 lanes, and that's like a Tiny that will have to soak up a lot of experience, less recover experience and gold. Newbee, seeing this Night Stalker, good choice because they offer similar ganking potentials. They can still run the Spirit Breaker, but I haven't seen this well, even if he is a really tanky hero. Let's go something crazy like a Slaughter. So in general, trying to beat this Night Stalker is kind of hard. Usually you'd run for something like Winter 5, and position 4 Winter Wyvern, or even position 3 is not really available as Newbee. Shadow Shaman comes to mind as a decent position 4 that could also count. Again, you don't really want that as your roamer. The Sand King, you lost the Earth Spirit, the Bounty Hunter, the Elder Titan. There's really very, and with the Disruptor, a nice hero in general, offering push as well, canceling Night Stalker, etc., etc. Newbee is a Pudge. Well, you're gonna be game that might lose you the series. You pick a Pudge. The combat practicing this hero a fair amount. They're not bad with it, and we've seen some impressive plays by viable nowadays. And if there's anyone that can actually hooks, rot, and positioning, it's this Pudge. So let's not forget Pudge Omni Knight. Now I haven't seen that since Dota 1, but it used to be pretty disgusting. Might still work. The 4th pick over here. They see a Pudge and they're kind of confused. They're like, what? I was not expecting that. Why you would also pick the Pudge? There's not that many options that you have for tier 4s. Sorry, I thought I muted it. Apologies. And now, what's the choice for Vici Gaming? As we're seeing this with him decently, can put a fair amount of damage in this mid lane. The Shadow Fiend actually is okay, and probably not the best option against a Pudge. If he gets a right hook on you, he can kill you easily. For example, you know, easy laner, can't offer too much damage, and also can be harassed by Rot, very slow hero. Maybe you're looking for something like a Razor, who can also stop the Pudge from initiating by stopping him. Death Prophet, probably though the pick. Too weak against Disruptor all the time. Glimpse can tear through the Omni Knight's Repel, in addition to silencing a bunch of heroes. For now, off-laner, not deciding entirely what's going to go mid lane. Tiny could also be going mid lane if they want to do that. Tiny greatly, and also prevents any Bat Rider, the most common heroes, to counter the possible Omnight plus whatever. So, they will run a Newbee. Omnight, I don't really know what to guess. Bad, because there's so many ways to stop him. Usually, those kind of heroes will be good with Omnight. Perhaps something that's not too bothered by the silences, but there's still a lot of OD, for example, especially with the Primal Roar. OD. I mentioned it multiple times. It's a good pick, but at the same time, there's ways to deal with him, so it's not a complete counter job of drafting. I like it, honestly. The bans by Vici game, particularly, are some of the best. Banning all the position 4s, allowing them Omnight and saying, fine, you can take Omni 4. And Newbee misread this to position 4s, and now got locked into something like a Pudge, which is definitely not ideal. Outworld, though, does set up a perfect cook for that combination to occur, and you also get the Disruptor. That's the both possible setups with the Astral Imprisonment. Definitely not lost by any means, saying that. And the OD also offers an insane amount of damage from Imprisonment, and the Band of the Dusa comes. Well, most of these, even if Pudge is pretty strong against her, you can still pick her, and so you want to take that way. DK is a possibility, honestly looking really strong as well here, because it adds to your mid-game lineup. I would like to see. And for Newbee, they need a carry. A carry particularly that could use Repel a bit more efficiently than off-meta, Troll, Orsa. Obviously, because you don't have anything else, but it would be a good counter to Tiny. And perhaps, but why would you run Sven against a Tiny? Not really the best option. They can kite him quite easily, especially with Tiny's extra range. Luna? Lycan. Okay, a good repel kit. Giving you pushing power, which you would probably, and this kind of Lycan that goes for the early game versatility items of power space if he has a bad lane. Not too sold on the Lycan pick. Again, Beastmaster can be really powerful, but we will see how this continues. The last pick. How many times do I have to say it for this pick to be long? Stops Pudge initiation as a whole, Silence comes out, and then really strong against Mugi in general, and stop the Glimpse from being effective. In addition, BKB to really stop her in general, and on top of that, she comes with both physical and magical damage, so Omniate is super well, and Guardian Angel will save one hero, and everyone else will just die. That annoying Guardian Angel, fair amount of stuns and silences. Every single hero in Vici game, by the way, has some sort of disable. Silence, stun, we can pick up. So potentially, Glimpse have a lot of ways to stop the enemy team, whereas the enemy team really concentrates on the big initiation by static stopper, and I guess the Astral. So once the BKB Tiny runs rampant, I would even argue maybe not BKB, it's actually Go. Bad idea. As you get the two biggest things you're concerned about, and the Astral Imprisonment. Actually, yeah, there's Lincoln's is Tiny here. I mean, Tiny only if he needs it, obviously. Death Prophet, certainly. Beastmaster as well. So we'll see. That said, again, cast is just caster. You can look up Twitter. Twitter's easier if anyone's searching for that. But Vici Gaming here is not qualified. Neither is Newbee. I don't know why people are saying that they're but not qualified for H Cup, and there's like a slight win in the tournament. I'm pretty sure match, but the two top teams, who have insane salaries, probably not going to think. But whatever. Let's go into the presentation of the teams, and let's. Kaka here on the Pudge in the Radiant side. Mid laner will be SCCC as the Owl will devour. Second support is Faith, carry Lycan, and finally Omnight played by Kaipi. And here comes SCCC. This brings him back, but Lanham could be stalling a purification. So who cares? Yeah, the Astral Imprisonment should have come a bit sooner. Whatever. He didn't have the red. The winners of the first game. We're gonna have Mr. C. Yeah. The Lanham on the Rubik. Second support Night Stalker played by Fenrir. In the mid lane, Ori on the death by Young 11. In the off lane, of course. And with that, Vici Gaming will be here, I would say, except for maybe the Beastmaster, who can be annoyed a lot, but alone, I really do like this laning stage for them. SCCC is not bad, or the Death Prophet can certainly stop any ganks from laning him stronger. Look at that, they're actually harassing Kaka fairly, so he has to stay in this lane for now. Wait for the second Spirit Siphon, or melee heroes, but if you can force the Spirit Siphon, because it is the first spell you max, it's the max damage spell most of the time, you can actually manage to gank her and do a decent job of it if you play it properly. Even with levels when you only have one charge, and that's more likely to happen, to force the Pudge to stay in the bottom to do any shenanigans. And of course, if you can go for a kill, that's better. As Kaka is definitely going to go down here. One more hit. Happy to get that kill. No stat. First blood yet again. And yes, I like the Spirit Siphon. I think it's been nerfed enough. I think you can play around it. That's the beauty of it. That's it. I think the ability itself is just meant to be strong. I mean, you're meant to win the lane as Death Prophet, so I really do enjoy people sucking everyone off in a team, and all of a sudden that. However, on the other hand, it is true that since you can play around it, it actually adds for very interesting map. And you force a Spirit Siphon early, boom! All of a sudden, Pudge comes in, gangster, and nothing you can himself the bottom lane or something like that. Try to play. Now, the lane as well for the bottom lane is kind of hard for Mugi. You don't want to be more difficult because Beastmaster has a huge base attack damage. And that means that you can sometimes outlast it. And the region for Lycan is fine for stopping harassment. And Lycan actually goes for a Quelling Blade, but so will the Beastmaster, just to make sure that he's off. Let's not forget that since Quelling Blade gives you straight to it, essentially it's the same thing, right? It just kind of evens out. That was a nice 3 throw, by the way. To get the last. At least one support at all times in the bottom lane. Interestingly enough, Fenrir and Lanham taking turns here. First of all, you need one support here to just pull and to get a bit of experience and gold. And there's more experience in the bottom lane because you stay taking turns. By doing that allows both to be leveled once it comes to the mid game. And when you have a Rubik and a Night Stalker position 5, but a position 5 with a slight caveat, which is like 1 or 2 items for mobility. You do want that Blink Dagger early or Force Staff or whatever it is. In the mid lane, also been left alone against the OD, and to no surprise to anybody, he's actually winning. Harassment by Kaka. Oh, gets the hook really weirdly. That seemed like he evaded it, sidestepped it. The hook actually has an insane, like it just kind of expands at the end or something. Gets punished by that hook. I know how that feels. You feel like an idiot. Like that. And then you just feel like a dumb. Not really the slowest projectile, but it's really very slow. However, he's going to get his revenge here. The kinetic field not going to last long enough and turn it around any time by hooking him to the high ground without vision. Because you need to be able to stop the hook into the high ground. Now in the mid lane, they go for SCC. First, going to start to put some harassment here in the mid lane. He does have Void level 2 as opposed to Crippling Fear, positioning himself and waiting for reinforcements, which is entirely a viable option, especially with the Pudge. So they should be able to win the hand-on-hand with the Pudge. Most hits you if you're diving tower, etc., etc. Pudge, decent base attack damage and the rot damage, which, well, it deals the same amount of damage to both of you, but makes you impossible to use your mobility here. However, the Void constant harassment is really strong, and Kaka, they're just trying to prevent that. Kaka deny himself, and Rear gets the highest and wins because of kind of chance. Because people didn't know, there's a slight average. Oh, actually, the attack damage every single time. It's just lower, and every hero is more or less. Night Stalker has a pretty big range, or relatively big range. And there he actually got pretty of RNG. Kaipi getting a hook. No, the hook that does nothing. Kaipi does in the top lane. Sorry, Lanham not being chased out by Kaka. There it is. Lanham, careful, being chased by the wolf still, but they can go into Mugi. Face joins in to evade it, and now Mugi has to fight to the death here. Fenrir does not have enough mana for another Void. Cuts the 3 downs. There's the Void. Just eventually goes down to Young 11, who even dives the tower for this. Ori joins it. My fish to feed, and Ori takes a quick kill onto Faith as well. In addition to this, dancing in circles around Newbee right now. I mean, the usage of the Night Stalker there was really clever. Overall, what a running your mid lane, you can afford to leave it for a while. Sure, OD, recover a bit. Only get you half poor. Let's take a tower. You don't need to destroy the OD in the lane. Just need to make sure that he's not impact, in due time. And taking towers can accomplish and can become a threat as well. So we're gonna go back to last hits just for a second, just to see how this one-on-one matchup between Paparazzi and I'm great because Vici Gaming is allowed to rotate more with the supports and even their mid laner. We're not gonna see many rotations by Tiny, but that's expected. And what's the goal here? SCC said if you're near tower, you can't really dive it in because of the timing that Astrum person creates. You can even Astrum before. Actually, no, Fenrir should be careful. You can't do that, and Fenrir. OD giving a bit of space to Faith to get away from this. Kaipi will go down in the top lane again as Night Stalker falls to Kaka. I'm not going to be able to find all the kills. Anyway, what VG Gaming does really well, they create space actually. When they wrote the Pudge actually going down there, they even saw a TP there, or should have seen the TP. Means this to help the Omnight because Disruptor's already being cancelled. So they can afford to take a kill and even a tower with it. VG Gaming is using their time. But, I mean, it's not decided by it for the mid-late game. Shadow Blade for Paparazzi. Gonna be trying to get some distance with the Avalanche. Throw stones at SCC. Hope for the Astral Prism doesn't hit him. There's still the hook by Kaka. They're giving Paparazzi can smell the hook. He's quite fast, but don't know if fast enough. There's the Astral Imprisonment. Hook should be perfectly timed there. Hook can still stop his TP though. So he was a bit hopeful there. Want to chase him down, but they give him enough time for Young 11 to TP here. Use the Primal Roar, and he should. Paparazzi makes out of here alive, but Ori is here for the cleanup crew. Hey, Kaka actually healed, prevents the possible denial, and they even toss down Ori. We'll see losing a lot of HP to that strike. We'll get 2 kills there for the price of 1 in the bottom lane. Night Stalker or mid. Honestly, not that big of a threat when Ori is doing so well right now. Oh, glimpse immediately. Ori, they say, please. Thanks for bringing Oblivion. Wherever Ori goes, he's just a threat. This Death Prophet is absolutely dominating. That's actually a very good point. Spirit Siphon lasts so long. I'm pretty sure Static Link breaks through. It heals you, and it has a range that is too long to be true. It's constantly being slowed down, and of course, this HP. What are you meant to do? Astral Imprison the Death Prophet? Constantly being in charge of Ori. Though, to be fair, we're going by that same idea, though. Is going to be is positioning himself really properly. You know, ensuring that he can take down the heroes whenever they win a gank or something like that and really clean up everything. There's Kaka. Oh, Hook thanks him for that. That's great positioning. And they walk away. Like, it's nobody's business. Well, Ori puts a little bit of pressure in this mid lane, trying to take advantage of the catapult, but of course can't without the exorcism. And Vici Gaming domination continues. 4K in the lead. But in this game, I mean, last time this Newbee came back, it's only 4K lead, not that much, granted. Really turned things around in Necronomicon. A huge power spike with that ability. Necronomicon can destroy any hero, especially with your crits. And now a smoke is used here by Newbee. What are they hoping to get with the swords around? Nope. Yep. There's no wards, so just leisurely struck together as friends. The scan sees nobody, but Ori at least could be killed. Got very cocky. Did not expect that death profit. At least they get the very important kill here. Even though Spirit Siphon turned into a kill for Vici Gaming. Want to get a counter kill of some sort, at least Kaka will watch him because your Shadow Blade's going to run out anyway. He decides not to go for it. If he avalanched it, again, does Vici Gaming really want to sacrifice for that? That was still wiser. Usually when you don't see 4 heroes in the map, actually 5, you probably should back, but Ori was getting, which is not surprising. And Vici Gaming continuing with this assault to the tower in the mid lane. Paparazzi happy with this, gets a bit more gold. Tower trade in the top lane. Tier 2 for Tier 1 would definitely be beneficial to them if they could, but the chance of that happening, I'll push a tiny or a death profit, be a pretty important objective. And with this, Vici Gaming, again, just keeping the Roshan, nobody else can take it. They have a medallion as well. Yeah, so this Roshan will fall super quick, saying that Newbee, if they initiate, will just lose. There's even cages with Kaka. That would make for some interesting plays. But sadly, that's not the case. So right now, it's just the Roshan going to fall to the exorcism. And Vici Gaming will be able to, by the way. I've seen this build before in Young 11. I just noticed this. Meteor Hammer. Set up. That's such a long stun. This game, guys. Because before, usually you get it pretty late as a luxury item because Beastmaster. And Young 11 has found a niche in that Beastmaster Primal Roar plus Meteor Hammer, if properly. 6 seconds. Well, 5 seconds at first and 6 seconds at last level. Which is impressive and really tiny. They can also just go into Dismember. Most he's going to lose the Aegis. And this could be a counter initiation by Vici Gaming. They should be aware of this. Throw the weapon in the air. Paparazzi, careful. Use the Shadow Blade at the right time. They do manage to kill the Roar. The counter initiation. Static Storm. Stopping anything Vici Gaming wants to do. And Fen rear with a hook. He's glimpsed back and destroyed. They do turn this around slightly with these team fights. Very, very well played as Vici Gaming go into an engagement, but not with the exorcism, meaning they didn't have enough damage to fight. And with this Newbee, what will they be going for? So they're going to try to go for next team fight. I think that's a and guaranteed that the hook is really strong for these kind of team fights, creating big disparity in teammates. Coming back with an exorcism soon. And while Paparazzi wants to find a quick kill, obviously the stacks thinks whatever. I'll take the stacks at the very least. Yeah, they're just. And Paparazzi still leading the net worth chart, but Lycan not far behind with 900 gold. They have to take into account to fall off as the game goes on. And OD really not that far off. He does not fall off. She does. Even with the BKBs later on. See, they want to initiate the CDOD, but they were not expecting the disruptor. They have no way to stop this again. No Yul, or the Yulsator used almost condemning Fenrir. You want to get the kill onto SCCC. He's the most important target by landing. Static Storm closes in the poor Night Stalker, and Kaka could even go walking from behind. There he is. Paparazzi, have you just condemned yourself? Nope. Gonna kill the punch. And now it's time for Kaka to recover a bit. Spirit forced to just stay behind. Paparazzi has been hooked back to a toss. Purification help out. Dismember doesn't come in time. Not expecting that hook because they did not deal any damage to the Tiny. It would have been a really good hook otherwise to survive. However, it got put by Vici Gaming's lineup. With Punch dead and Paparazzi are hammer to help the push. They're able to take down the tower pretty quickly. That Meteor Hammer. Every time I see it, it's like... Vici Gaming are able to take a tower. And now we'll be going down. We see Faith hanging about. But obviously play a bit more defensively. They are more against the rope, especially in this game. Risky plays, and it's not that big a deal even if they lose this game. Whereas Newbee doesn't have that much more clever. They do have offensive vision this time, but they will only find a Night Stalker at most. Know that nobody else is there, so that means that they can go the other way, exactly. And just guess. Out of offensive vision here. Mainly checking. The whole rotation in this area is... Oh, I can draw... Oh, yeah, I can draw the map. is taken. You can't really do anything without Newbee knowing where you are. So, and here a Rubik hook would just reveal the ward, so not always that useful, even if it's a good kill. Yeah, exactly. Ward there, the hook misses, unfortunately. We're hard to turn this around. Good timing on Kaka there. Rubik stealing the hook is crucial. I mean, if Rubik steals the hook, well, actually your punch will be... So, the Rubik stealing the hook is very important. Probably Mugi, similar build, heavily dominated in Economicon. Gonna start pushing. Paparazzi coming in. Where's the rest of the team? All smoke behind him, and then they go with the drums. They have to initiate because they need goodbye punch, and the objective is the OD. No extra just yet. Beautiful static storm. The repel can actually survive this. Ori finally using that ultimate and trying to stop Mugi, but he still walks away. Fenrir also dies, and Ori, did he just use the extra meteor hammer? I think I just heard it. But did also nothing because he didn't have full. Because even though you do have the exorcism, support for supports, this would happen, but a beautiful static storm preventing the exorcism from happening. Ori did not fight, and now Newbee has the chance to start pushing. Certainly not, as Newbee takes a tier 2, equalizes the score a bit more for Vici Gaming, but Newbee has managed to flatten out that line. The difference net worth went really badly for Newbee for a while now of engagements. Still farming faster, obviously, because you have a Tiny. The fact that offlaners don't count as much as the like in Tiny. 500 gold away. The Death Prophet and OD are actually 500 gold away. And the two supports are pretty far off the enemy items. So, at most he needs to be able to hook something. That's it. Each lens, maybe, or Blink Dagger, or Force Staff, something like that. And now Newbee will continue to fight Primal Roar to deal with the OD and Repel. As soon as the Repel comes out, boom, Primal Roar. And that's how you cancel him. Otherwise, Repel can just dispel that. Meanwhile, Meteor Hammer for farming. Young 11 really enjoying that item, I bet. Actually deals a fair amount of damage as well. But, I don't know. It's okay. I don't see this item being that strong. Even with the Primal Roar, let's see something like a Blink, or hell, even Economicon might be more useful. But whatever, he's going for full utility. And here in the mid lane, Vici Gaming attempted to defend against Newbee, and Newbee trapped. The darkness comes in, and they knew this. Now, with less vision, it's even worse of an idea. Oh, but Newbee staying in the trees, preparing a potential trap in case they see Paparazzi with their Economicon. He could Economicon as well, actually. Still have not seen him. Both the ward, though, should be able to catch him. Their vision, seeing them entirely without ward. Even with the darkness, they actually smoke up. What about the enemy vision? They have no clue where they are. Did not see that smoke. We shouldn't have seen that smoke. And they just see a couple push, or a bit of a push happening in the... Going back to normal vision, and now it's Vici Gaming again with a blind smoke, or sorry, blind the OD is. And this means that they can only go for SCCC. However, he's along the lines, that's fine, but if you find him, actually do see Ori, or they should have seen Ori. Darkness has faded, so even with night fade, so probably didn't catch him in time. Same team. That's me being an idiot. Sorry, I meant to say Newbee. Did they see Ori? Probably not, even though the smoke got dispelled with the night vision. You don't have the... Or you don't have Night Stalker on your team, so you don't have the extra night vision anyway, etc. Vici Gaming, for now, the game is going to go into more really benefit the OD in general, because you're going to be out-farmed most likely by Vici Gaming, but Vici Gaming doesn't quickly. He's recovering nicely anyway, just because of his own ability to decently quick. He now goes for the 40 movement speed, fantastic. He's going to be building the Lincolns to prevent the Primal Roar. That means once you get Repel on SCCC, he's going to be gone. Now blind one. Limbs, bring back the Night Stalker, and they even hook him back out of the kinetic field. And Night Stalker close to die, but not quite on the Omni before he dies. But Mugi gets a quick kill using Necronomicon. Can they stop him from TPing? They don't have enough damage to do so. So no Beastmaster. And sorry, and no Primal Roar there. It's pretty important as well. I mean, now 2 or 3 is gonna fall. And Paparazzi walks in. Okay, no, he was for the creep wave. Should be quick. And yeah, Tiny cannot burst the Mugi, by the way. Hooded Defiance build stops Tiny from... Tiny can stop or can deal a fair amount of damage to Mugi, but cannot burst him down. Even with the Echo Saber, which is a good choice, especially because you know the pipe prevents most of the damage that you can... So if you thought you could burst Mugi before, there's news for you. Mugi is more or less invulnerable. Well, not more or less invulnerable, but certainly in a better position. The thing that can stop him is a toss from then on. Gaming. With Tiny being the only one that's actually leading this game. Meanwhile, trying to recover a bit from that. You have the Solar Crest for Ori, which is a beautiful hook! Guessing it entirely, and now she's stuck. That's your mid laner gone, and absolutely fantastic. Vici Gaming is not gonna let this go. Without Ori, with or without Ori, they're gonna try to fight this. Yep, they realized that was a... Newbee is able to take that vacation, just clear this lane quickly. Age is taken. This is crazy. No, there was a cheat on Mugi. Good. And with this, they also are able to take a shrine, which is a bit more dominating. 1k lead in their way. And it seems like Newbee might not be all those Newbee doubters. SCCC laughing. Ha 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 ha. I am God. So, that's SCCC, by the way. Not me, obviously. I wish I could just play it like a third. I think that's a pretty good accomplishment. Now, Paparazzi. Oh, there's the hook. God, Kaka on point. Even with the BKB, all he's preventing is the possible astral imprisonment. Usually the silence though by Ori, and now Kaka careful. Oh, that hook almost found him. Glance for Paparazzi, brings him down. Ori joins the fray with a blink dagger from behind. The exorcism, they have nowhere to go. Static Storm to prevent the Tiny from going. Punch off, almost destroy Disruptor. He will see fighting against this exorcism is impossible, even with the Aegis feeding on SCCC's lifeblood. Now Omni Knight himself, SCCC alone versus Master, but will lose the Aegis as a result. Quick TP from the Omni Knight takes. We continue with the team fight. Let's see SCCC with the repel. Really, really powerful. Fenrir will be the only one to die here, as everyone is forced to go the Tiny. Now for the racks. No anything right now, as he sees the TP from the Tiny and just proceeds to kill him. They need to take these racks. Mugi messed up there, but it's okay. He takes it eventually. That's all that matters, Mugi. Works wonderfully for Newbee because of the Astral Imprisonment. That buyback couldn't even get the kill onto the OD the second time. And on top of that, you thinking I can just deal with this Lycan. He's just BAM! Shapeshift and destroyed. And nothing that Vici gave. He just got a couple good crits, and that was it for the Tiny. Low armor, taken advantage of, making you a bit of extra armor, and etc, etc. So the Quilla, all that stuff. But Mugi's damage. What a game, Mugi. And now you guys question the puck big, but then you see him play, you're like, he's gotten some insane hooks. Hooks the Tiny there, which was, and without to pretty much, well, win the team fight, honestly. That initiation was there for Newbee. I mean, they don't really have initiator in the form of an Knight, so getting the punch as an initiation is fantastic. Fulfill same roles, similar roles in the sense that they gank one hero, etc. And yeah, it's looking at like Newbee like in the Rock Gaming matchup yesterday, where Mugi won the same way by just ratting. I do suggest you do. On Dota TV, you don't need to watch me, I don't care. But there's VODs anyway, so really fantastic. And I think Newbee might do the same thing this time. I mean, that looked really well. Pickup, stop trolling the poor guy. Just tell him I'm Darklight in Spanish and D-Swordfish. It's the same person. I just like to differentiate between languages. We've taken a couple lanes of creeps, now leading in net worth charts. Tiny a bit sad about this situation, but he still has a lot of worth chart to be a very effective Newbee. What am I in Spanish? We need to be TSS Pickup. Just wait for it. Kaipi is going to get a Blink Dagger now, helping initiation. And there it is, a hook that finds a Beastmaster. Goodbye, Young 11. And now, the Beastmaster to get the Primal Roar, but they couldn't. And that ward got them time. And just amazing performance there by Newbee. Tools. Oh, careful. There's SCCC. I think that was the Chinese Eclipse. Almost destroyed Paparazzi. Couple kills there. Ori really helping out with Spirit Siphon. He's going to be decimated by SCCC. But Soulcrest saving him that last bit. And now Kaka joining in. Sounds like Dismember has to fight against the Exorcism. There's the Purification. And eats her alive as zones him out. And it's time for Vici Gaming to call the GG. It's going to be a tie, guys, as Newbee the score. The 10k lead at mid. There's going to be a last game for this best of 3. These two teams are... And they're just so desperately clinging on to the winners brackets. They don't want to face the immortal King Gaming Luminous in the losers brackets. They don't want to lose that advantage they deserve. They're both and now finally both taking games off each other. We will determine who's the better Chinese team with this last match. Guys, hope you enjoyed the cast. My name's Steve Starfish. I've been your cast for today. Stuff, I use a Twitch name, but that's just because my own moral standards. Ignore that. And of course, if you did really enjoy the cast, feel free to the month. And of course, you can also join our Discord channel. We have a nice community. You can see the Discord channel, or talk about bets, or the cast, or competitive Dota as a whole, whatever. And that's it, guys. We'll be coming back very soon with the last game between Newbee and Vici Gaming. See what occurs. We're at game, and I'll be back very soon with the cast of it. Until then. Alright, guys, we're in the game then. The 3 for the winners brackets. I mean, you know the shindig, but Vici Gaming and Newbee are fighting it off for the last time. Because they can still fight off yet again, but in a amazing fashion. Newbee, a bit more dominant performance, second game domination from Vici Gaming in the early game. And now in this third game, everything will take the cake. Either team will take the beat, or to try to beat Vici J in the winners brackets finals. Whoever loses will have to go against King and face possible elimination. I'll be your caster for today, and I really do hope that you enjoy the cast. If you do, feel free to, tell me how to improve and hear your comments. Without much further ado, though, let's go into the actual draft. Night Stalker bans Clockwork as a whereas Newbee, they ban out the Elder Titan Bane. Interesting, because this one could pass. Vici Gaming this time opting for the Night Stalker Knight, meaning Ogre Magi is a possibility for Newbee. And of course, without a really nice combination or even an OD. And there's the Shadow Fiend. I mean, you see the Clockwork, you want to prevent that pick for Vici Gaming. The issue with the Shadow Fiend pick so early, I'll cancel him in the mid lane, right, with the right pickup. So that might be looking into canceling the Shadow Fiend with a magical damage dealer, perhaps. Queen of Pain comes to mind, for example. Or like with a Dusa. And Vici Gaming has multiple options, and forcing out the Shadow Fiend pick really early, just with your Clock, you get a Shadow Fiend Clockwork, which is a great combination. However, Newbee are smarter about this pickup, meaning that they now have two heroes that actually combine well together, and a safer not necessarily get kills or be a good defensive support. He can put a lot of pressure in the lane, making it so that an unfavorable matchup for Shadow Fiend, which is likely to happen right now, is not. Now, Vici Gaming was the second pick. Well, they're going to copy Newbee's strategy, or it could be a Phoenix in the offlane. We still don't know. You give attack speed, I take attack speed, and just subsequently, that's not bad. You can actually completely deny Ogre Magi early on. And we've seen Ogre Magi actually opt for the going for strength E builds with things like Urn and the Vitality, very common as well. So Phoenix can actually cancel that with Sunray being a percentage based, like Ogre Magi, sorry. In addition to him being able to cancel, he's a good team fight hero, very favored by both Vici Gaming and Hero, so I think it's a pretty good pickup. And obviously Clockwork and Phoenix are nice, a lot of damage, and you won't have a hard stun, but you already know the enemy. Maybe he's gonna go carry like they've done before, but most likely a mid laner. So, for example, or some other slippery carry, maybe an anti-mage, but that's not really in the meta in time. Taking away his attack speed, among other things. And of course, the immediate ban of the life. And after noticing that they don't have that many stuns, only a hook shot, the first thing that comes to mind is obviously happen at all. So now for Newbee, they need a position 5 support. Vici Gaming, frankly, against a Shadow Fiend, you're looking for some long Bat Rider. But do you really want to put a Bat Rider early on when they can start off laner? Yeah, you have to be a bit careful about that, right? Newbee needs to not counter the Shadow Fiend too early, so that the counters to the Shadow Fiend get countered. These amazing mind games. What is it that they're going to ban? 50 seconds till it occurs. Maybe Battle or Beastmaster might be a ban here. OD. Wow, okay. Okay, I see that actually. It's a matchup or a call from, was it Infamous Gaming? Actually started doing a lot. Old Infamous Gaming. So it was Odion, Timato, and Matthew who used to play Clockwork. Probably the best Clockwork in South America. And put someone either pushing them with the cogs or imprisonment, similar to how the Earth Spirit works out. So stopping the OD, especially because he's actually a pretty strong hero. They abused him rather last time. Gaming, again, preventing all those heroes that they might require a big stun for. They only want to consider Shadow Fiend in general. Is it possible that they're going to go for a Tiny pick yet again? Vici Gaming, a hard counter to Tiny is that Lion, and that's going to hurt. Lion for them getting a bit more playability. Now Vici Gaming, they could go for the Tiny Lifestealer ban. Maybe a bit more likely. Perhaps pick an offlaner first. And if you're going to pick an offlaner first, Tidehunter comes to mind as really stun him. There's no Nick's for Newbee, but then that way you don't get a Tidehunter versus a Tiny. Either way, the offlaners here for Newbee, very important to cancel now. Unless they decide to go for the carry, which wouldn't reveal too much about their lineup. And now Vici, I think it'd be too early to decide that. I actually would like it. Luna's decent against the Lion and can decimate him. You can even go for the Slark this game. I know it's not the most common pickup ever. Down easily, and Lion's a high impact support easily. Slark, Void, those kind of support hunters, maybe to some degree a Juggernaut. But there it is. The Tidehunter I was talking about for the offlane stops a lot of the initiation by this Tidehunter pickup. You can go Disruptor, which is the most traditional way to cancel this Tidehunter. Brewmaster allows you to storm him up, cycle initiation. And that would be really good as well, because even mid game against a Brewmaster, the Tiny will still struggle a lot against a Drunken Haze, which is important. So, as their 4th pick. No, Abaddon. I was not expecting that at all. Oh, Abaddon, sorry. I always mispronounce his name. Okay, that happened. You don't have any stuns to stop. Stop the Ravage. The enemy team is not going to go for a Bat Rider or a Brew or a... is really strong against. I really think that pick for... that Brewmaster would have been a better pick there. And they would have get a bit more lane dominant, maybe even dual off lanes. And TA picked up by Vici Gaming. Whew, pretty strong. Get an early game lead. Burst damage, which means the Phoenix Supernova can be really annoying, and so will the Ravage. She's gonna get destroyed. Only issue here is the Ogre. Abaddon, you're considering, okay, perhaps Ogre Magi Abaddon will be the off lane as a dual off lane to harass or carry. I want to make sure that that's not possible. If they want to run the Ogre Magi mid to counter her with Abaddon. Since he has no recovery, you can actually crush him early on in the game. He does dispel, though, the minus attack speed from the Anchor Smash, which could potentially mean that if this is all set up for the Tiny, I would actually find that pretty good. Tiny stops the Tidehunter pretty well. Smash, dispel, of course. He just kind of cancels him. That could be a possibility. Slark banned out. Yeah, for... oh, Vici Gaming, interestingly, banning out the Slark, perhaps. Obviously, banned Tidehunter from being effective. Now Vici, as Newbee does as well. Who's gonna pin? You could. You have the Tidehunter. You're set up for the off lane anyway. Lane that can also like the gank, so Tiny would be good here. I don't have any carry down. Terrorblade also would have been an option, I guess. CK time. Yeah, unless CK plays really intelligently. And the choice is going to be Phantom Lancer. Probably the only illusion here that could... and Phantom Lancer stopping the Abaddon mid lane. Also a pretty self-sustaining carry in that regard, so that's important. After that Phantom Lancer pick, Newbee has to go something a bit creative. Perhaps a Juggernaut with a Battle Fury build. Perhaps a Timbersaw, the choice for Newbee. Both teams bringing something new to the matchup. Newbee very much similar in that regard. However, Newbee has their laning makes sense. The only thing that really concerns me is probably on that off lane. Timbersaw can clear the illusions quickly, deals a fair amount of damage to Templar Assassin, and Brazil Blade could stop him. But like I said, there's not many carries that can take advantage of the lack of stuns. Timbersaw is one of the few of them that actually can. So Templar Assassin, Newbee actually has a pretty nice early game with the Timber. So I do also like the Knight of Vici Gaming, but I think Newbee was definitely concerned that he picks the Abaddon. How strong will that be? Vici Gaming will be having a harder time in the laning stage, maybe against... well, no, actually, Tide against the Timber also struggles a lot, and against the Ogre Magi. So Tide's not going to have an easy lane. That's going to cancel him a lot. Are they going to run an aggressive tri-lane, perhaps, to make Vici Gaming? With Phoenix Clockwork, aggressive tri-lane's fine, but any melee hero against Timbersaw is pretty hard. I don't know. This is all a long time. Can't really go either way here. I am kind of torn between both drafts. I think here it's all going to depend on how, first of all, and obviously how well they execute certain strategies. If Timbersaw can clear the illusions and if they can get good lanes and then snowball from there, nobody should be able to win. However, Vici taking advantage of Phoenix and Clockwork and then pull some good team fights, taking advantage, they could win as well. So it will really be good Icarus dive there, preventing the potential Earth Spike. It was only an auto attack. And time to train, so that Mookie very confident, probably not going to kill anyone. In here, Ori will be taking this bounty rune up top, but the rest of the bounty runes will go gain engagement because against an Ogre Magi, against a Lion, they have really good level. I mean, probably can't do anything against it really. So they're gonna leave off if they're cocky. Only the actually Tide cocky as well. I take the top rune. Let's see if he's. And I don't think he's gonna go down, but they're gonna deal a fair amount of damage. Probably wants to take Kraken Shell at some point. Nope, he's gonna die. Yep, there it is. I know you don't want to go Kraken Shell so early. Sacrificial first blood for no reason. Try to take the bounty rune and you don't go for the Kraken Shell to help you out. The Anchor Smash. Timbersaw early on, but at least get one of there. When you're gonna die anyway, seems a bit excessive. Mess up your laning stage a bit in the early game. Don't giving up that point, Young 11. Really? Yeah, it ends up taking Kraken Shell anyway. Why? Genuinely unknown. Not dispel. Oh, it is dispel one. It would dispel the Willing Death game in more strength, and it would have helped him against Lion Sits. He had no Stout Shield anyway. He don't go Stout Shield on a Tide, obviously, because he has Cracker. Just a small thing. Just a small thing that Young 11, but sometimes even pro players make mistakes. Careful, because Young 11's being harassed a lot on the top lane, saving his life from the double world of everything on one, so not just one, it just helps both. And if they miss time at, they probably for, which is essentially why the Whirling Death is so powerful. However, the probably even like a 2-1-1 build, or not even maxing reactive armor first, and then max reactive armor a bit later, just because he can dominate the lane by so strong. Like we were expecting, these lanes are definitely in their favor. As Triple C, Faith puts a lot of pressure onto the TA. The Tidehunter's not going to have an easy lane against whatsoever, and even the Abaddon can put a fair amount of pressure, especially in the early game, against the Phantom Lancer, because Phantom Lancer brings this, you're completely useless. In fact, I think the Phantom Lancer might be seeing nowadays the 1-1-3 build as opposed to the 3-1-1 build. And with this, many rotations, because you don't have that many. All he wants to do is to end the kill and make sure TA can't come to lane. And we're going to see a situation actually quite recently where mid one was playing Silencer and the TA was, screw it, I cannot win this lane, I'm going to go to the jungle and try to farm that way. And TA recovers. Against a Shadow Fiend, it's not the same thing as a Silencer, right? Because Silencer depends on kills. Man, he's messing up quite a lot, that old side leads. It's not lane and likes to snowball much more. But it's still, let's see. And here in the bottom lane, Faith finally rotates, and as soon as they see Faith to the lane, clever. Honestly, the Ogre Magi is what's stopping you, not the Shadow Fiend, so you can take advantage of this by just using their rotate occasionally. Meanwhile, the top lane, Young 11 has been suffering a fair amount, loses a fair bit of HP, but Mugi, it is not outlasting currently, and Tidehunter can still do pretty well to be able to dispel this Whirling Death very soon, and Kaka can still get the Hex off. However, Young 11, no questions asked. Oh, they're putting so much pressure into a Tide if you can't kill him. Oh, Young 11, never mind. He's going to the wrong base. Second Whirling Death. This time the Cracker Shot already triggered me, or it might be lethal, but Young 11 is tanking all of Lion's damage. I'm pretty sure that's all of it. What is that? Instances or something. Okay. That was most of his damage. Fenrir dying in the bottom lane. Perhaps not. Ooh, good usage there of the Mist Coil. However, going for the support means that Vici Gaming can get a kill to S-tripping. Vici Gaming was certainly looking for. Space created by that Clockwork. Sacrifice myself for... sorry, more than important. And then I'm trying to help out. Ori not going to have very long for the refraction charges. We need the Sun Rays into the ground, with Ogre Magi's ridiculous ability to physical damage. Kaipi in the bottom lane, because they're going to put some pressure onto poor Kaipi. Paparazzi, even in terms of farm, with a free farm, or mostly free farming Shadow Fiend. So that's really good. And even the matchup of Timber versus Tide, usually not that terrible. Mugi is having trouble spamming the world, changes his matchup around, especially with the Arcane Boots. It makes it so Mugi cannot last it, as Mugi has a terrible attack that in this lane because he just tickles the Tidehunter. There's no point to do that. Careful, there's an Ignite, but with the help from the Clocker, they might even be able to go for the... I was hoping there was going to be some sort of body block or something. Like, here, take some damage. And that was it. Not that great. The Timber by giving him his Soul Ring, so very valuable. But Tide still not done entirely Ori before that last one. Before the Ignite, constantly harassing her away, not letting her fight because, of course, 3 shots essentially a guaranteed death for poor little Ori. They even have an Ignite or a PP in the middle of the Shadow Raises, which sometimes might be impossible due to the insane... Fenrir sees Kaka, but realize I'm only a Clockwork, so I'm probably going to run away. But in the bottom lane, they harass Kaipi, nice, but he just dispels it all with a Photic Shield. It should be perfectly fine. Young 11 might miss him. Body blocking, best way to deal with his big-ass Tide. Get the dispelling off. Ignite will just be dispelled there immediately. Cracking Shell's level 2 there. Another Whirling immediately. The body blocking not effective. There's the Hex plus the Fire Blast. Stacking those Whirling Death actually ends up killing the Tidehunter. That's a maxed out Whirling Death, a build that's not Timbersaw, like I said. It's pretty good. Stats away while you did that, so no, that worked out. That worked out for them. Well, all things said, though, that was a bit of a mess up regardless for the stacking stuff. Like I said, as long as you get the kill, that's all that matters. Ori, a fair amount of damage though nowadays. I actually forget because I'm 250 physical damage. That's or magical damage. That's a lot of crap here. You have to be really careful with positioning. It's a nice zone up. That's the slow plus a damage. Joining in one to help him out. Also can take out the slow and the top lane to the trees. However, with a Ravage available, as long as the enemy team can TP, will go for the Tidehunter as well. Up top, Lion immediately rotates. Kaka, one legs, about to be killed by the creeps. Those he's lost his little house in the tree. He's trying to use the few ones left, but deforestation is too strong. Young 11 Toes so sad about this. Ravage has not been taken just yet. Cracker Shell not helping him out too much at the end because that's enough. But Young 11 still being harassed by this Timbersaw. Mugi just needs one more Whirling. Young 11 trying to get some speed, but he can't. As the last Earth Spike keeps pieces. I could just see the Tyler kind of in the trees, seeing how he's losing, ends up hiding there, which is quite comical, and then proceeds to die, of course, because the Timber is just too. You really can't do much as Tide against Timber. Really, your options are incredibly limited, to say the least. Most of the time against his Whirling Death, more pressure, and just horrendous, frankly, as a Tide Hunter. Even join you, and they don't actually attack you or play too aggressive. The Clockwork and the Phoenix can rotate. The Fusel Blade for Paparazzi is going to be his first item, of course, as per usual, but it's going to be a bit delayed as the Double Lancer. He does have a fair GPM, 400, minute 10 is what you expect from most carries that have been free fight kills to get that above 400 GPM, just barely touching that level. Not letting him get close to the lane. Kaipi's having trouble here. His net worth is below the line. His has been cancelled here, and he doesn't really have any recovery mechanisms either, which is not that big. There's no way to change mobile chat to dark mode for some straight Twitch app. Sorry, man. Blar. There's the Earth Spike. She's done. Raised, and that is Vici Gaming. 10 minutes in, we can see how the standings are. PL leading, of course. Timbersana to this TA. So pretty even. The score, not even a few. Probably make the biggest difference. By the way, don't spoil the score. Thank you very much. Harassed. They need to get this kill at some point. Landon pulls through. Doesn't get hit. Have that Phantom Rush going on to Newbee. A lot of reactive armor stacks. Be hit by the Ravage at the end. Sunry also dealing a fair amount. Mugi has to run away, but the last Spirit lands from Paparazzi to bring him down. And Newbee. And in the mid lane, they go for Ori, and this could be at least a good counter kill. Nice due to the traps there, though. With a Rocket Flare. Another slow, but this time not with the damage. But Ori still surviving. He has been cancelled a fair amount, and now it's only, at least in the early game in terms of last hits, but he's recovered fine in the jungle, and he's also been able to net worth now. Honestly, he's doing pretty well. Faith is to stun him, Kaka won't die, Faith got cocky, and Finger at Debbie. Here in the top lane, clearly his mortal enemy, not having a nice time. They're just trying to trigger borrow time early. Mid lane, we're seeing a tower. Ori is taking a set of stacks. Really help. They're not aware of this. No, they are entirely aware of this. They're just letting Ori do this. As the clocker goes down, at least it's a first kill. Not too bad with the damage for the last second. And Clockwork dies. But again, Vici Gaming TA, so just allowed her to take that. I mean, Ancients, I guess, are not worth that much. Oh, no, never mind. They left the main ones. They left the top two, those two big ones, meaning that ballsy play, though, regardless. And this ward obviously stopped the Ancients, so that means no more. That means no more stacking. Chakram, we try to get some distance between the enemy team and himself. Phoenix comes in, Landon's still. They try to clear all the illusions. There's the trap. Maybe going for Shadow Fiend seems like an easier target, but of course, or with cooldown. So Vici Gaming will have to retreat. Newbee get up. Plating defensively there was clever because otherwise Timber's would have died. Forced to have the first damage Shadow Fiend, but rather a physical damage one, much like we saw in the first game. Taking advantage of the minus armor aura, of course, supposed to the Bloodlust, right? Much more. Even though the spirits are kind of annoying because of the spirits, GD and save yourself in time. And yeah, when I said top dogs, I meant like the top ancients. Sorry. It's actually that I can't come up with the words because I'm Spanish. I just use different words. It's a very weird casting style. Oh, someday I'll be able to say the proper vocabulary. Fenrir here in the Mugi, but definitely can't kill Mugi at all. Scanning the map without offensive vision seems impossible. In fact, they're using a lot of defensive. And look at this. One ward offensively, two wards. This is mega offensive. You know, there's a tier 2 here. This is a rotational ward, but also very offensive. Loop part for this one. For this one, it does. Oh, wait. If I click on it. The wards mainly for Vici Gaming are defensive, right? You can see this to see any rotations that go into their jungle. Pretty clever ward. And also defensive to some degree. Potential smokes. Very common smokes around the Bounty Rune and the Secret Shop. But because of this, Faith will be committing a lot of... I would argue that Vici Gaming is kind of in the dark and really can't do much because that's the basic items in the TA, which is going to be a bit later. It's to farm a Blink Dagger to get the standard time nowadays. I think it might even be faster nowadays, but that's the standard time and just be. Mugi will already have even more rotational wards. That's really offensive. The whole jungle is warded here. Mugi will have the Bloodstone by the time that the Blink Dagger comes out. 800 actually, and that means that Mugi will be a force to be reckoned with. Really, the kills will be very worth it for Newbee. Newbee does not have such a good they have a huge peak once that Bloodstone comes out. And with a Hurricane Pike Shadow Fiend, going for Manta style as his next item to take a couple of things like Anchor Smash, health damage. Okay, Clockwork, hookshot the creeps, and get fried as a fix. Him gets a Supernova, and they need to destroy the Supernova immediately, but they can't all attack it. For time, pretty successful in doing so. The Hurricane Pike by Shadow Fiend, not going to save him from the Ravage. They can continue this aggression. Kaipi down, and with the Diffuser Blade, there's nowhere for him to go. Has to fight till the end, but that Tim and Ori cleverly fighting once he gets that gold and saying, screw it, we don't need a Blink Dagger entirely. We have Ravage, and we try to farm that Bloodstone. Really, really well played. As a Phoenix Hammer, is super strong. On top of the Aphonic Shield being really good against the Spirits, or dispels the Spirits on top of you, and furthermore, hit in the Supernova, not concerned about anything. Make the Abaddon super strong against the Phoenix. In addition to Curse of Avernus, I'm pretty sure it does trigger against that. Or actually, I'm not entirely sure. Not really the important part. The important part is the fact that you can, as Phoenix is used as a distraction, which is very commonly how a Supernova Phoenix is used. Then you can, well, you can just ignore the distraction. Well, most of your team can ignore. I would even go for a bit of attack speed here, and the choice is actually going for Vlad's for a bit of resistance. After all, you don't want to be solely a Phoenix counter. Mugi finishes her blood, as Tempor already has Blink Dagger and Desolator, so by the time they fight, it's going to be pretty even team. And now Manta style, it's going to become a real threat. Timbersaw might not be stunned, and Bloodstone gives you a fair amount of regen, but it's not like Arcane Boot, it's not a burst of regen, right? The single use of regeneration, so that means that you're actually only going to the Timber Chain or Whirling Death or the Assault. Or Phantom Lancer is going to be running at you every time he finds you. Now, quick kill onto the Clockwork. Earlier, I think he deserves this death. It's fine. It's not a big deal for Vici the Clockwork. Really. They already got a decent team. Now, if they could ideally kill the Timbersaw, that would be great. Stop the bust. And actually, I retract my previous statement. That is a pretty important kill because now every single kill gets Mugi Bloodstone charges, which means every kill has 10 seconds to the Ravage. That's when they initiate jump. Supernova is available though. Shadow Fiend. And doesn't grab the haste, the bounty rune in the process. Phoenix will just be brought down. Don't have the Supernova, still have the Ravage. They should be able to fight this regardless. So this Roshan, Phoenix immediately buys back, and Newbee says, okay, they're clearly going for us. Surprise! Sacrifices himself to keep him in place, and with the Ravage plus the TA, the damage gets the Requiem of Souls to the high ground. Can't kill Young the entire enemy team and using the high ground to his advantage. It's only Kaipi who dies for now, and Timbersaw with his Bloodstone, more than eager to keep on fighting this. The Supernova finally comes out in the Triple C. He might get the kill. He doesn't. It's the Timbersaw who finishes it off, but Phantom Lancer managing to kill off the Shadow. One last doppelganger as Ori continues to hit this poor Timbersaw, and the Lancer dies, meaning the two going, and so is the Roshan. A perfect objective for Vici Gaming to take down initiation by the Clockwork. That hookshot by Fenrir, sacrificing himself, who came back super soon, is gonna face 2 kills in the span of barely 20 seconds. Or hold him off Timbersaw and says, nope, you're down to 8, buddy. Fuck your Bloodstone. Vici Gaming in favor of Vici Gaming. That was a hope that they can continue with that. Ogre Magi. Man, Fenrir. Someone give this guy a cookie at whatever the prize pool is. I don't know. It has a chance to come back though entirely. Yes, the late game is not as strong as the enemy team, but Tempor does not scale that well into the late game if he's going for utility Timbersaw, which might not be the strongest thing. Shadow Fiend together with that, so Shadow Fiend is Vici Gaming. If they win this, by the way, they'll be able to fight Vici J, parent company versus child or whatever. I mean, it was much easier for eHome M or something like that as opposed to Vici and then Vici J Thunder. What a main team? Is Thunder better than just normal Vici? What does Thunder add to you? I don't know. It's just electric. So we'll see. Vici Gaming will have the chance though too, and of course Newbee. A bit against the ropes after winning that second can taken away from them, and now picking up a Timbersaw. Of course, they can still win for the losers brackets. Newbee is their domination as a top Chinese team. I mean, or the title as the top Chinese team. Vici Gaming looking really strong with this. Vici Gaming doing well actually. I'm not biased. I don't care who back to their full shape. Chinese Dota is looking strong, and not just because Newbee is playing badly. It's because Vici Gaming is playing well. All the Fenrir Clock haters now crying their tears because. Sorry about that, by the way. Again, sickness. Newbee will be going for the paparazzi, taking down the tower in the bottom lane. So they're buying them for a tower trade if they can't defend this tower. Not the worst of ideas, honestly, for Vici Gaming. Joins in. There's, of course, Young 11 acknowledges laning stage did not go well, and instead of Blink Dagger, he goes, well, I need initiation. But that's a better idea. Wow, those TPs. And they get the wrong one, not the right one. Phantom is. And Newbee surround the Mad Cat. Until Lancer, Requiem of Souls will come out. He's going to try to kill Kaka before he dies. Paparazzi can only try to get a kill, but Kaka ensures that the Earth Spike, they say. as they take away his Aegis. Paparazzi's gone. That's a really valuable kill. Forced out by the Lion, took him by surprise, honestly. And Kaka managed to keep him in. And with this, Newbee farming up on their heroes, which is now very necessary. Make sure the SCCC gets all those items that he was looking for. To the Bloodstone, you're looking for something more, right? Shivas, whatever it is. Here, Fenrir in the middle lane, aiming to make whatever shows itself. Not up lane, sees Kaka. That trap can also cut the lane, by the way. Oh, no, he waited for it. It was not match. Oh, never mind. That was my bad. It's damage over time. I always forget that. So, it was fully charged, so it just cuts the lane. Just keep putting pressure on the lanes. Honestly, what they're doing is it's kind of push that the guys from Newbee can't really threaten objectives, and also so that smoke ganks are harder to push. The less vision you have as a whole, and the smoke gank is less obvious, which means... And they do have a fair amount of offensive vision. Notice how their warding has changed entirely, right? And these guys have offensive vision. Actually, no, the enemy team has offensive vision themselves, but these guys have offensive vision as well, which is now getting the tempo of the game. That's going to make a huge difference, as Newbee would like to be the initiator against a Tyner, especially. Team fight, win yourself, fight whenever you want. His Ori deals a really big damage against these towers. He's able to threaten objectives easily, and on top of it, that's going to start crushing this Timber Saw. Now the Aghanims, but I do think Mugi needs the Ogre Magic or something, because yes, you have the Aphotic Shield on the Abaddon, but you're going to wait for that Orchid to come out to use the shield. It's not particularly a spell that can be used. There can definitely be times when they can't, which doesn't sound like that difficult to defeat considering what's happened last team fights. But hey, Newbee, just kind of always Vici Gaming. One on the left side, one on the right hand side. Newbee doesn't want to initiate. They're just keeping together to prevent the puck exactly where they were. Vici Gaming with that ward, actually. Very clever ward. That a lot of vision, and they know this because they know that Timbersawn's going to break those trees anyway. So that no ward. It's really hard to de-ward, by the way. And that was on purpose. And there, not for the blocking. And thanks to that, Vici Gaming knows when to not to engage. Leave. Out. Good. Because that could have been an easy kill onto the Titan Hunter. Honestly, there, they know how quickly they could react to it. As Vici Gaming, without the have any vision of what's happening in the middle lane, and that could crush you. So, that in terms of net worth, looking at or the chance or the time to look for a team does not seem like a bad choice to wait for the Roshan in general. Okay, but that's going to help a lot actually, so he doesn't commit suicide. Paparazzi trying to finish off that hard Tarask, which is okay. As more, you got the Diffusal Blade Manta style, you're set, and TA is the main damage dealer anyway. Hard Tarask will help you out. And Vici Gaming, once IP, maybe not the best target, but illusion, but they can still call them away. Kaipi, you're not getting close to your shrine, buddy. They even spell it, and Kaipi will be going down. It's just a smoke for an offlaner. Pretty, I mean, I bet they're pretty happy about this. They didn't have to commit anything to it except for a smoke. Okay, 28 minutes in. And he is quite now, well, not really, but he's relevant in the team fights. And of course, now the Orchid is super powerful, like I said. No Aphotic Shield. And that's the concern. Like, he's going for Lotus Orb now because he's a knowledge shield. You can't rely on your team positioning or whatnot. It could very well be Timber Saw is completely denied. Now, the tower gets taken away. Roshan responds in 9 fight. And Wrecking Soul is good for Roshan. But the Ravage, I would argue, is better for Roshan. But Supernova is better. And can easily be taken actually by Ori, especially if it gets Blood Thrown in time. Because that means that the damage to Roshan is amplified ridiculously. He provides. The Phantom Lancer also can take Hookshot, Blink Dagger on TA to steal it, just in case, and Supernova. Roshan will come back very soon, and the Trap will see this. So now they're going to start aiming for it, helping for a 4 versus 5, and they do have to... And they go. Newbee sees just Lannon, that's not the best smoke. Time from Lannon might even... Supernova last second, can they hit it in time? Hook to save him. Now they're definitely finished, as they stun everything around, destroyed by the Sun Ray, and they want to go for more. Paparazzi finished off Huck in the back lines, and they have no way to stun him out. Instead, it's Kaipi, the last victim of this engagement, slowing him down. No borrowed time. This poor Abaddon. Saw dies. Bye-bye Bloodstone charges. Abaddon dies. Also goodbye in there. The Shadow Feeding Ogre Magic was against the Roshan. Vici Gaming will certainly take the Roshan quickly to be able to even think of a plan to stop the Agelink she is going their way. Vici Gaming. Another amazing hookshot that allows a Supernova to occur and sets... And the BKB on Shadow Fiend has not while Hurricane Bite is screaming over... I don't understand why Solar Crest is the item as opposed to BKB. BKBs here, they're just not that afraid of the Ravage, or alternatively more afraid of the Supernova, because it does go through BKB, at least the stun. Also, they can't destroy the Supernova without the BKB. Against an illusion, that's not what they want to do, obviously. They managed to defend the tower. pretty good. But it's not the H and the cheese. Tidehunter's back with the Ravage, winning. Hookshot's already available on Fenrir, Supernova in 10 seconds, and the Ravage on the Tidehunter gonna be at Phoenix. Start picking all the time. And now, Newbee can still win this, definitely. They just need to have a strong team fight. Sorry, that's what I meant. They need BKBs on both Timbersaw and the Shadow Fiend. Screw your... Even if you have to deal with a TA, even if you stop to deal with a Supernova. Like, not be stunned by the Ravage. On top of that, the Abaddon being completely canned. Type P was expecting a better laning. He went for the Abaddon as opposed to the Brewmaster. I think Brewmaster would have saved. He would not be suffering from this, you know, lack of farm, because Brewmaster's fine without farm. Only Blink Dagger can be set time because you can just cyclone him. He was Phantom Lancer to some degree in the lane. Even if you can dispel things, it's fine. You know, you can always go for just Thunderclap build with a bit of critical Lancer. Newbee got cocky with the draft, and I think they actually got drafted by Vici Gaming. And here they maybe Ravage stake. I'm not taking drugs before cast. That's terrible. You can see I have a hard time slowing down. Spanish people speak really quickly. Just slow down for the analysis. I'm sorry about that. But I do my best. We really do speak very quickly most of the time. And it's bad. Nice. Well, that's what lane cut. Yep. Clearing in just 2 hits. Sure, this lane, bottom lane doesn't get too pushed. As even with that catapult, the creep should be able to force a team fight very soon. And here, what is the plan now for where they're gonna get Aegis next for Roshan? I mean, they took the Aegis, so there's no reason to wait, right? So that requires they need to fight now, and Newbee just have to prepare themselves for this team fight. I think the Timbersaw was not a bad pickup. I think that Timbersaw came by a reactionary pick to the Phantom Lancer. Okay, lack of stuns Vici Gaming had, but they've been able to. You don't want to go against a stun. If the lineup has no stuns, you can freely not have to use a BKB, which I understand the build up there for Newbee. A knowledge that you're just not playing at that level to evade all the stuns and evade the Rat Magic coming in. Slight silence, no aphotic shields for a while. That's choice, by the way, to stop the TA from hitting for a wit, but she still has the Aegis. We're gonna be Ogre Magi and a hookshot puts back the Lion. Triple C and a magnificent Ravage. That's his Requiem of Souls out, but he need to kill Mugi first, and Phantom Lancer just trying to get, and Newbee finally accomplished the defense they were looking for. Aegis not going to sacrifice themselves for the kills. They rather lose the Aegis and wait for the next Ravage. The Supernova not complete, and that combo this time. He gave him a life. I said it multiple times. Well, I mean, you still have to deal with a Phantom Lancer, but... And they could have dived, honestly, and tried to kill their mistake of diving against him. He also had Talisman and Evasion, and you don't see an MK. He's actually going to go for a Nullifier, interestingly enough. Since you like damage as TA, I think the Nullifier is also a viable item on her. Also really good against a Load Absorbing Timbersaw. And the Orchid plus Nullifier. Doom in your team, but he's been banned. Worry not, we have Nullifier and Orchid to do the Doom. Just for you in Dota 2. So, that's exactly what should work out. However, you do need someone that I don't think. I mean, PL's not the best MKB buyer. Bloodthorn actually another way to. Right, that's me being stupid. With Nullifier, you can't take it away with BKB, so that's bait here. Seems like they now have to go keep looking for Requiem of Souls. Let's clear some illusions, and Mugi find the backlines. Managed to kill Fenrir far in just for a kill on Kaka. He's confident. He still has the cheese anyway. It's not available, but they can fight without it. Apparently, they don't need the Ravage. They just need to take down Kaipi immediately as they go for a Timbersaw. The Ogre Magi has to buy back as Ori or for the towers. There's the Orchid that they're looking for. Lotus Orb take it off, and he done a good job, but they can't continue fighting this. I mean, Shadowfish is going to come back very soon, and Mugi's starting to put some pressure. Of course, that's no Aegis. There's the Ravage finally coming out. Might go down. This is what they were looking for. Mugi dead for 50 seconds. He has no buy. And there's Kaipi again, just tanking all the damage, making sure they can't quite kill S-Triple-C, making a barrier between them. That's going to soon run out, buddy, and that means that you're going to be in threat of death. However, what's really in threat of death are the whole time pop range, or the melee rack, sorry. Retreat, let these structures fall, and Vici Gaming will do the same. Without those valuable items, I'm fighting here. And sorry about the keyboard thing, obviously, fight back. So, let's see. Now gonna be waiting for the next Roshan. That's the next team fight. What's happening? 2 minutes. 2 minutes till the Roshan comes back. Look at Newbee just go straight up like, walk away. We want this Roshan. It's very important for them. I mean, they have a fair... They should be able to take it pretty quickly. And Newbee now staying as fucking against a Ravage. That doesn't mean anything. They will turn us around. That team fight perhaps finished on the Title Hunter. Also taking away, meaning you have a way now to deal with the Shadow Fiend. It's 5 seconds of disabling or not attacking for Shadow Fiend. It's quite a lot. And now Vici Gaming will protect this Roshan pit, putting vision all gem. Actually, this is easy. They have a gem and Ogre Magi. They have the sentries around to make sure that nobody is here. Newbee without his help. Newbee, oh, they do. Kaka has 1 smoke and so does Fenrir. So they're gonna wait for this fast smoke. Most likely, once the Roshan comes back up, they're trying to control the vision of the Roshan pit with the illusions. The illusions seem like they're from the same team. That's definitely a mistake. And careful, Ori. Okay, well, I don't think he actually has. Oh, he does have it, but he doesn't want to use Renkai. Of course. Beautiful hook shot onto the Shadow Fiend. Rekima so that hook shot was very helpful, and now they're fighting against a Tidehunter. He still has a Ravage though. You have to be a bit careful. Fame wants to kill the Ogre Magi. Good usage of the BKB. Can't really stop her in that situation. Bringing him back up with the Ghost Scepter as well, helping it. Gaming lost the clockwork. However, that said, the Rekima Souls, you're fighting with, let's see, Newbee. And he going against a Roshan. We're back to that Roshan. So cute. It's finally back. And this is the final stage. Depends. If Vici Gaming win, yes, they win the game just by winning this single team fight. Because they don't have as much pushing power. And, oh, they can't really harass them until this happens. So nobody has to wait it out. Unless they can dispel it. But that's right. The Roshan, he's really doubtful about this. They want to take advantage of the double damage quickly. And they're entirely right. The Roshan melts in their presence. And with the initiation as well, Fenrir sacrificing his life yet again. Supernova with the Ravage might complete. They still have to fight a second Ravage thanks to the Refresher. And the Supernova will keep everyone's done for Newbee. Roshan's taken by Vici Gaming as well. And this poor Abaddon will not make it. Vici looking for the last kill to complete Newbee. All of them dead. Team wipe completed. Only a G comes out. Vici Gaming with that Refresher Orb that 11 took from, or Refresher Shard that 11 took from around completely. And this winning the first and the third game, proving that they might be one of the top Chinese. Have to prove their medal one last time against Vici J Thunder. The losers, the winners brackets, losers brackets, where they will have to prove themselves against KGL to not get out. Guys, hope you enjoyed the cast. My name has been D Swordfish. It's been a pleasure casting for you guys today. I have a pretty, like a 20-minute break usually between matches. If you did enjoy, subscribe, all that stuff. You can do !tip and you can see it there. And you'll appear on screen as well with your message and the subscription and all. I really appreciate the cast. Tell me why. I'm here to improve for you. But if you did, compliments are always nice. That said, guys, we'll be going with the last best of 3. Vici Gaming wins, Newbee 2-1. And enjoy some tunes while we wait for the last matchup to my bad. I confused the time. Newbee versus KGL, whereas Vici J will be. So I'm sorry about that. It's not Vici game versus Vici J Thunder will be tomorrow. Apologies for lying, I suppose. And it's gonna be KGL versus Newbee. I am very sorry about this. I was taking a small break. I just jumped in right into this next game. I missed the draft. I was not expecting that. I was waiting for the lobby to appear. Lobby never appeared. Holy Lord. Alright, so I apologize for that. Let's present the teams real quick before saying posted on Gosu Gamer. That's how quick they went. It just started this way. Anyway, let's present the teams so we know who's playing what. We have, that's a beautiful set. Line as the first support, it's Kaka as the Sanking Shadow Shaman played by Faith. Second support, Mugi on the Lycan yet again. And Enchantress in the offlane. Ooh, nice burrow strike by the Loki Gaming Luminous. Have a disruptor play the Tusk. Triple Chinese symbol that's apparently called what's it? Yeah. Roll as the Juggernaut. And meanwhile the mid lane it's an offlane Brewmaster played by Zhao Fu. Again, I really for telling me anyway for the people that were in the chat commenting with me. Or just chatting with me, really. Careful with the trees. They could easily get the kill. That's it. They don't even need the Aftershock. It's going to be a kill for Faith in the end. They want to give it to Mugi, but Brawler. Not a big flaner, but giving the first blood to your Shadow Shamans. Okay. You'd rather get it from Mugi. Losing the the Brewmaster so early is expected, frankly, especially with the build he decided to go for. You have no leeway to escape, no second slow to help you out. Meanwhile, here in the mid lane, SCCC, he's not having that much trouble against the Viper. Probably one of the better heroes to fight against the Viper. For the Viper can deal, and he's never low on HP. Even if Viper deals mainly magical damage, the Dragon can still deal with him decently. And that Bree, or or zoning out in a pesky draft I'm very much in favor of. Seems like King Gaming is a bit stuck in the past with their life, especially the two supports. Tusk Disruptor, okay supports, because like I said, you can use their scope. Viper gets destroyed in the mid lane, the simple shackles, and I'm pretty sure they Dragon's Tail. No, they didn't even bomb. Okay, was that a Invis rune? Maybe. I didn't actually, most likely, and got the kill on the Viper. Not really. Meanwhile, though, the lanes are all going in favor of lane. No problem with Lycan in the bottom either. Even with the last inning, who's annoying Drunken Haze, you can still do a lot with Mugi. For that, in the mid lane, they actually go for S-triple-C. Jesus, I'm sorry. Illusion. Anyway. Still getting minds into the game. Blade Fury, Juggernaut trying to find a sinking with that. Yeah, I don't know what the. Goodbye, Juggernaut. He doesn't have Omni Slash or anything to heal. Type P uses the. And that's a kill against Row. And now Tusk, they try to get out of the kinetic field, are unable to. Kaka might actually be going down here. And that's a token to kill Yuda. So with that, Newbee does even the score. They get a double kill onto Kaipi, which is more villain. Second goes to Disruptor. The position 5 should not be getting those kills, or does not really kill in this situation. Kaipi, careful, they can still glimpse. No, they can't glimpse him back. He's lost his creep anyway, so that's a bit of a loss immediately for the salve to ensure that the Juggernaut cannot kill him off. So yeah, like I was saying, the draft is definitely in the meta. The supports are much stronger in terms of their catch ability. They're not so one-dimensional either. Team fight, especially Disruptor, but they've picked heroes around it. You know, Kinetic Field might be, unless you glimpse him back, he's going to be okay. And you can shapeshift away from it. You can always, Static Storm barely deals that much damage, and Storm damage, or silence whatsoever. Harassing this top lane, it puts him in a defense. 24 last hits, Juggernaut only 15. 9 difference is considerable. The 13 denies also had some experience to Mugi, which is why they. And since DK is already doing perfectly fine against this Viper, with trying to get kills early on, their supports get enough experience. That is why Shadow Shaman probably rotating between lane and Newbee, and that is also why Kaka is probably staying in this top lane just to harass the Juggernaut. Take the healing ward away, that would have been really good. And there's the tornado, just to push the lane a bit. Now they have a catapult, it's probably the best time to push. They're just harassing the Juggernaut wherever he goes. So that tornado, all that wind, so terrible for like a date, you know. Poor Juggernaut, he has a mask. Actually, that's the word for that is ugly. The mid lane, S-triple-C might be suffering a gank from Disruptor. Kinetic Field and glimpse both issue with the Viper, putting closer to the DK, but then you're threatening a potential Dragon Tail. And if the Dragon Tail happens, goodbye to Tusk's effectivity here in this move. No, there's an issue. They could kill him, honestly, with Shackles and Hex. They have enough damage, and there's the Shackles finally coming out, but under the tower, probably took too long to use them, and got punished as a result. Crit plus Thunderclap, easy. Onto the Juggernaut, they can't though destroy the healing ward, and due to a nice micro by Juggernaut, survive. That Burst Strike, not a Blade Fury is on, obviously. Have a Dragonite with wings, able to copy the Viper, at least in style, and this is, we see he usually has terrible teeth. This one clearly not British, so S-triple-C not gonna have so much, and maybe more. Thunderclap could kill him. There's no split though. Xiaofu wasted the Thunderclap in the mid lane. There's the Shackles. The Shackles in their tower gonna get punished. Blade Fury and Viper Strike slow him down by my faith. The positioning by faith have been everything but desirable. However, 4K leads hard, and you can have an Enchantress that, as we've noticed before, can have a huge impact. Tower down bottom, get a bit of extra gold for his tower is standing strong. The top lane, they do find row a second time and be difficult. They want to destroy that healing ward, but the damage is too much, even with the healing ward. The face, spear through the heart. And Newbee, get a kill support. Again, they are winning with these little engagements. Definitely beneficial to Newbee. Not gaming will just be giving up Juggernaut constantly to support himself. And Juggernaut support might be viable, but definitely not when you pick him as you carry. You don't want to have to change positions halfway through the game. Amazing for the guys that there's the annoyance onto Mugi. He can't really hit top of it. And the Primal Split will start to be able to, well, the Primal Split is already available, which means that the Brewmaster can play a bit more aggressively and even punish Mugi for thinking he's God. However, Mugi does have a stick. He could stop the Primal Split from occurring. The cast point for Primal Split is around the same as War's reaction time. Glimpse, not in range, sadly, but the Burst Strike stops this poor. Wow, good play there. Sandstorm, Kaka's going to receive the whole Blade Fury damage. Has confidence, Snowball as well, and he can't use the magic stick in time. Sadly, Kaka has for his mistakes. By the way, spin, but in case you were wondering, does not cancel impetus. Impetus goes through. Sorry, if we used spin earlier, the impetus still goes through. It's pure damage against an Enchantress most of the time. except for the burrow strike. To stop the burrow strike in general. It's not expected. Hooded Defiance with this girl. I mean, stops a lot of Blade Fury damage. The Static Storm as well. Tusk can still hurt you though. Shapeshift by Mugi, vision of neither. And that Centaur out, but sacrificing himself to the tower. Not a big deal. It's a Helm of the Dominator in the mid lane anyway. And with a shapeshift in Mugi, he can join his teammates and every single time. They can fight without it and still be relevant. Because Lycan has a pretty nice set of stats. Ensures that he can stay long in team fights. And on top of that, Helm of the Dominator really early is pretty effective ability, or a pretty effective item on a Lycan. In the early game, those creeps actually deal so much damage that the King Gaming will have to be careful. Even with, and with this, Newbee can take another tower thanks to that catapult taken away. 6k lead now, 10. Not looking good for King Gaming Luminous, especially because they were supposed to win the lanes and have a made about the draft in King Gaming Luminous. They were confident enough in their strong laners in the form of Viper and Brewmaster, these mid gamers, the recovery to actually get back into the game right now. And his core is super expensive. Both relatively expensive items, and their supports are not really made for that. You're supposed to be made for catch and early game team. Acquire those core items that you would be looking for. Whereas in Newbee, they have really good support for that. They're not greedy. They can go for early and stuns. And on top of that, carries. Which don't need to win the lane, just need to get a decent amount in that regard. Viper Strike onto Mugi. Evades the kinetic field though. Shapeshift versus core. And that seems worth it for Kaka. Frankly, your support sacrifice, that's faith. The poor sacrificial lamb in favor of King Luminous. However, Kaipi will be free farming during this whole time, acquiring bottom lane, getting closer to that Dragon Lance, and the Lycan and Dragon to begin with. Yes, supports die, but to get back by killing supports, they're going to have a really, really tough time. And with this, let's see, in the bottom lane, Kaipi being strong, and they already used Omni Slash and the Blade Fury. He really healed back up, saving his core, and sacrificing himself in the process. How many times do Wisens, or not Wisens up, but gets the help of Faith? It supports! Revengeful supports as they successful. Even with the haste rune, Faith has to run away. They can still not glimpse him back by a simple Lycan with only Necronomicon, not even Medallion. So Newbee utilizing the space exactly as they were meant to. And Faith clearly seemed to be going for a kill there, but instead will continue to take the tier 2 in the mid lane. A lot of pressure they can put on with extra creeps of the Helm, and that's all the tier 2's gone. Newbee can... The only thing they really would like to get now is tier 3 so they can start threatening the shrines. While King Gaming will be trying to do lucky kills. Juggernaut just farming the enemy jungle knowing that he can't get. And Yuna. What are they planning on doing? It's just 2 supports here with. And they all go for the Juggernaut. They see him with the wolves, but they do have superiority in vision. This is dangerous for Newbee. Yes, Triple C comes in with Shackle. That's the first kill they were looking for. Mugi want to clean. Yuna could still be a kill. He's committing to this. No purge just available. Destroyed to this poor Lycan. However, Enchantress, a kill. He needs some space, but won't be able to get it. Kaipi with the rock way, and he can't activate Nature's Attendance in times of the power treads. Should have been able to use it if he had extra mana, but he does allow Newbee to be able to go for towers as a result. Thanks to the Shadow Shaman towers, the Shadow Shaman ward, sorry, the Dragon Knight, who's only level as a whole with the Aegis, they're able to at least put some pressure to these towers. The Howl in favor of Newbee. KGL, all they can do is Ice Shards and hope that does absolutely nothing. Kaka might even want to fight in that. They go in, and Kaka might be going down. Static Storm taking both of them. Mugi needs to get away from here. Kaka, again, the sacrificial lamb. And the scapegoat for Seek, and they stun him out of his TP. They want Faith. Another time. The only kill that kill King Gaming Newbee. Well, Newbee still winning by a lot. Lose 2 supports. Lose the say. Oh, clearly rigged. That was all planned, so they can win dollars. So scary. But in all honesty, Newbee still winning the late game by a lot. They take the first lane. Referee is available with 4-minute performance by a Lycan. Together with the Helm of the Dominator, super fast GPM. All of them board very relevant hero, and thanks to that, 100 to deal the same amount of pain to the enemy team. Mugi still has not a lot to go for another push. They don't have a cheese, but of course they don't have a cheese. It was the first Roshan. So level 3, which is coming on the courier, they should be able to push these towers, if not get 2 or 3 kills, frankly. And they don't even need that much initiation. Finally, Epicenter is up on Kaka. With Necronomicons, level 3, like I said, slow down. They want to take away his mana in the Lycan, and the Snowball saving the Disruptor. Promo Split, stopping everyone, but the stuns off. Now Viper going down to Mugi and the Impetus, fighting only for Juggernaut has been farming the bottom lane. However, he's losing his Rex as a result. Juggernaut really desperate, has to come back, but it's not base necessary to take this tower at the very least. Brings down the Viper, the Epicenter even used, and Xiaofu walks inside into a burst. 70 minutes in. What a quick game in the best of 3. The best of 3, 70 minutes in, the GG is called. Not even. However, Newbee wanted to be going into the next game very quickly. So, like I said, guys, if you enjoyed the cast, feel free to follow me on, Facebook. And of course, if you do not enjoy the cast, feel free to tell me why, as I'm always open to criticism. 2 between Newbee and Keen Gaming Luminous shortly. Let's hope it doesn't take too long, and we'll start. Until then, guys. Guys, and welcome to the Age Cup Season 9, a bet in gaming Luminous, and playoffs, the losers brackets. Whoever loses this game, or, well, this series, will be out of this tournament, and whoever wins it against the loser of Vici versus Vici. Anyway, in the game that was Vici J versus Vici Gaming, was actually moved to tomorrow, and it'll be the... So, no, don't worry about that. I think it's just to adapt to the ESL 1 Genting schedule. Because, and obviously they abandoned our H Cup for the we're casting that tomorrow. I mean, it's New Year's, but I have nothing to do, so I might as well. King Gaming Luminous versus Newbee is the second match. Wins the first one, 18 minutes in, super decidedly. And obviously they abandoned Enchantress because King Gaming Luminous learns their lesson. If you do so, allow me to present myself. My name is and hope you enjoy. And if you don't, like some people are doing already, feel free to give me some criticism. I'm always open to... Not really for me. It's to improve the experience of people. So, KGL, Shadow start with a Tusk Shadow Fiend. The from happening either. They don't really need to pick the Shadow Fiend here, but fuck it. Even without the Clockwork or without the Ogre Magic, still very confident that SCCC can run the Shadow Fiend. It is one of his best Tusk. You're gonna set up for the potential Requiem of Souls, and on top of that, the Ice Shards plus triple raise, because the Ice Shard away from him, it's not just a direct stun, which puts you in the same place, so Shadow Fiend might not even need to move to get the triple raise onto you, especially if he's able to get you off with a long range raise, and we all know the damage a Tuscan Shadow Fiend can do in the early game is actually quite ridiculous, and King Gaming Luminous try to counter this to some degree. Shadow Shaman, Earth Spirit, long range, short range catch, long duration. With that, so the Earth Spirit can initiate while the Shadow Shaman sits out and you never move, never again, and you die. And they also bring a bit of pushing to the table, which means that King Gaming Luminous can... Shadow Shaman brings a bit of magical damage, which is great against Shadow Fiend as well. That kind of burst in the off chance that Shadow Fiend decides to counter. Now, the only issue with these two heroes is that they are not okay, but Shadow Shaman in the mid lane can be really weak. So at most they can that's all that they're really banking on. They're only going to be trying to kill the Shadow Fiend in the middle lane and leaving the side lanes a bit to their own devices, which is why King Gaming sufficient in the side lanes comes to mind. Those kind of heroes like it has been banned though, so you don't need much babysitting. Or if Shadow Shaman stays with a side laner, that need an off laner that's pretty powerful. Tide Hunter would have been a good Tide Hunter. Makes me think they want to go for the Tiny. He's a great combination, great fun with Earth Spirit. And again, the Viper. I don't think this pick is that good. He's quite strong, but it makes more sense with the Earth Spirit Shadow Shaman. Wins the lane no matter what. So you four. What we had before was a Viper Tusk Disruptor. Tusk Disruptor, she harass you in lane if things go awry, and then kills. If the lane goes bad for Viper, they can't do anything. This time with Shadow Shaman Earth Spirit, even if the lane is a bit bad for Viper, lane and turn it into a good 2 versus 1. So King Gaming Luminous looking a bit better in terms of their draft. Didn't get such a lot of options. Beastmaster comes to mind. Hard counter to Viper, and also alternatively, so is Brewmaster. So that King Gaming Luminous has not considered, but super early in the draft, it's not going to be banned, really. So they open themselves up to all these counters. For Newbee, very common with the Tusk, because you Ice Shards, so you can telekinesis, and the Rubik goes nicely with the magical damage Shadow Fiend. No fuel offensively, and oh yeah, corrosive skin, sure, yeah, buddy. Raise, goodbye, Viper. That's... I am so sorry. My hands whenever I speak, and I actually do that. Actually, just maybe drop my mic. I'm so sorry. It's a Spanish thing. I really can't help it. Go take the Brewmaster here for us, so that the enemy team does not allow it, and because they ban the Tide Hunter themselves, so the stronger scouts taken away. And of course, Newbee now don't have the option for Death Prophet because they banned it themselves. So if in case they want to run more, which means that the Brewmaster has a chance that happen. And at the mic, wait, actually, heard it. 1 second. Audio. No, it should be okay. Is this a new caster? Sorry, is the volume of the microphone? Oh wait, sorry about that. After I hit it down, I think they voice got deeper and louder. Before we continue this, I'm pretty sure I know what happened. Hardware sound. Oh no, the levels. Reduce the gain and hope that this is okay. Yeah, can you hear me fine? Can you hear me fine? My microphone is actually wrong the whole time, but now should you be able to? Can you? Yeah, can you hear me at the right time? Timbersaw for Newbee to counter the Brewmaster to some degree, and the help with these issues. I'm so stupid for dropping my mic, but it happens when you're Spanish more often than not. I throw plates on the
the floor often because I'm doing hand signals. Everyone's like, why do you do that? Nobody's watching. I don't care. I can't help myself. Timber, that's what I'm thinking, really. Not as they carry. They can still pick up offlane and Ing. Not an Ing, that's surprising. Okay, Timber's not in the offlane, but this time a bit more powerful as he cancels Brewmaster entirely. And Enigma to Viper and the Brewmaster. Actually, really good picks. They stop the Void, so they have not much initiation, but King Gaming Luminous can still go for the Tiny, which is something that they might. And the Tiny would work really nicely with the kind of line they have. Pretty strong against Shadow Fiend. And he keeps cutting out as well. That's so unfortunate. Give me a second. Before I connect and reconnect my mic, it might just work out. Okay, hopefully that's good enough. That's what we're looking for. That'd be a hassle if that just broke it. Strange. Maybe that fixed it. Try. Still, that's really annoying. It's like cutting out end of words. Huh. Maybe if I put it closer and I change the levels. Hurt my ear. If I can't always like to stream it, I'm just gonna not be able to cast. It's hurt, man. I think so. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna listen to myself for a second. Sorry, gonna test this. These guys. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna listen to myself for a second. Sorry. My voice actually. Reduce the mic levels considerably. Going back closer. Still testing out. That is my normal voice actually. Reduce the mic level closer. Still testing out. Oh, that is my normal voice. Mic levels considerably. Still testing out. Now I've increased the levels. Okay. Properly done. Let's see how that sounds. I'm looking at the stream, that's why there's a bit of an echo. Right, okay. Now with the levels properly done, that sounds. I'm looking at the stream, that's why there's a bit of an echo. Right, that's my voice. That's not a problem. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. There's echo, but that echo's gone. That echo is just because I was watching my own stream. My voice sounds a bit deeper, but that's actually kind of how my voice sounds like usually, so I don't think that's actually a mic problem. Maybe I just set the mic in a different setting before. It's fine for a few minutes. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you for all the work, because I reduced the gain in the mic, but I'm going to be closer for... Hopefully I don't hit it this way. Then we should go back to the normal sound that we used to have. And there it is. Open stream on your phone and listen. It's a terrible phone. Computer, terrible phone. It should be set, as I can hear it properly. The gain as well to increase, and yeah, just... good thing I'm a sound engineer, partially as well, in my free time. Good last pick, by the way, the Luna pick to see the you see the Timbersaw, you go for Luna. I think that was pretty obvious for King Gaming, Luna. And KGO, the last Timbersaw pick, let the pick go against the Brewmaster in the bottom lane. Even with the Enigma pick, they get a lot of versatility when it comes to team fights. They have a fight not so great. They did bank on getting... Honestly, a 2-0 for Newbee doesn't seem that great. The Luna pick seems a bit better than the Timbersaw. The Luna has a good big game as well. It's not be terrible, you know, against... I don't know what Newbee's going to really do against that. Alright, please. So... Some words glitch out a bit for myself, but I can't do that testing, so... For tomorrow, it'll be fine, but for today, I'm sorry. Hopefully, it's just bare. Alright, thank you. Maeve's just fixing it. MS here in the middle lane, about to go down. Snowball to kill him off, and Faith gets Newbee as the bit space for Kaipi, allowing him to get the lane. It's too unbearable. I don't mind that for much. I'll do testing later. Alright, Mugi passing shot that salve and getting a bottle soon after, and that's probably the best way you can to not get Mugi to destroy you. Don't take advantage of the lack of stats. However, every other lane not going your way, and you're hoping for the Enigma to do a bit better. Frank a lot, and against a Shadow Shaman. So Nice telekinesis bringing back Yuna, and ensuring the kill in the middle lane again, making sure that this Earth Spirit cannot harass the Shadow Fiend as much as they want. Well, at least keep his distance away from the Viper, put a fair amount of pressure. In the bottom, against the Brewmaster. He's going to be snowballed in, then he's going to take a triple closed in, can't go anywhere, choke point, nice. And with that, the guys at Newbee will be getting yet another kill for Viper. Because does not have mana to cancel those shackles. What the purpose of Kaka was there without mana either. And he's going to pay all of that choice of leaving the Rubik as a triple C gets nothing out of it. And the Shadow Shaman, sorry, but the tank was already alone in the lane. Kite was nowhere. But with the Ice Shards again against the man, back and raise to finish him up later. And now finally making it, not entirely unscathed, but at least alive, back to his tower. In the bottom lane with Xiaofu. Xiaofu at any point. And, oh, there's the thunderclap. So close to Mugi. Don't want to harass him entirely out of the lane. Mugi should still be able to survive most of the damage. There they go. No arcane boots still means likes the shackles, cancel the top, and let they close him down. Luna could have dealt with himself there. At least using the space to try to push it to get the tower, push a bit quicker with his Eidolons, and push should start doing this. You know, this the catapult will do short work of the tower. And up, for the Luna, she's rotating to try to get through. And those shackles, Mugi knocking out the chakra and going against Ace yet again. Mugi able to hit him to death and make sure to survive against Yuna. Double damage, very powerful, but as he does get kill, Astro gets a lot of the experience, a little bit of an advantage for KGL. Not the same dominant with, but Newbee. I mean, they take a tower down the bottom lane. They put a lot of pressure on top and the side lane. So by taking those early towers in the side lanes, it helps considerably to get the gold up for the net worth in the Viper. The 400 difference is not going to suffer this mid game whatsoever. Newbee has with a block hole from the Enigma. Oh, the Ice Shards, they might so go for it. Managed to kill off the Shadow Shaman. Mugi's been silenced though in trouble roll. And now Mugi might even want to continue as they can still stop him, especially with the problem. Yeah, they're content to take the sigil, but we're starting to see the impact that a Timbersaw can have. Mugi going straight up for Hooded Defiance. Annoying could be ever so slightly. Their own boulder position grid might even stop a triple C here. They're away, they force a split actually with this, because the Rick could have stopped them, and the split used the trees for cover, but the extra damage from the storm as back to finish up a Shadow Fiend. With this, I'll certainly fall for these guys. A tier 2 that will not fall for these guys as Luna able to defend them, obviously. And the mid lane though will receive a fair bit of harassment, maybe forcing shot considering this. Timbersaw very farmed though, which is the main win you the mid game alone. So it's not really that big a deal that your Shadow Fiend needs to recover. Your Enigmas. Okay, no even need for the rolling boulder. Actually goes right through it. But it's not, again, a big kill. Being relevant in going on the map, getting quick kills. Especially because perhaps Mugi should kill early on. Kaipi also too, and they've been able to not let the Viper snowball out of control with only 100 gold difference, even though they are above him, which is the important thing here. The difference is not that big. And for a so the farming continues. In the bottom lane, there's the Timbersaw. Not going to end up fighting him. Kaipi is soon to get it, which is going to help him a lot as the able to get good important carrier item. Maybe you could go for the Blink Dagger, but ideally go for guarding these pop and that kind of stuff, and that can crush their mid game. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, they see a Brewmaster without his Mugi takes the kill, and Mugi takes the kill, and they're gonna completing it with the creeps join in, while the rest of KGL just kind of being danced around, getting constant kills. Timbersaw getting closer and closer. Whereas, I mean, the kills aren't just later on. With the Hooded Defiance already set to most of the damage enemy team can do anyway. But magical damage and the active armor should be sufficient to withstand most of the physical damage enemy team can put out. I mean, Little is only 100 gold away from Luna, so the goes in, splits into three, but they can't really do much, really. I mean, yes, they're completely wasted. Can they take a joining in? But those Ice Shards could condemn them had they walked even to the end. Found out Boulder Smash will stop the initiation, but not Timbersaw. And with that, the Eclipse also the hero that's supposed to be relevant early on against Keen Game as as they try to take another tower in this mid lane. Look how much the movie can tank, as it is get a bit of help, but those creeps are actually helping. They actually don't deal damage to him, but they do. The Aftershock is completely healed because the hood of magical damage. So out of falls Newbee a bit more late, 8 minutes in, so it's not going to be stopped, but they're still better. You know, the team Shadow Fiend has not been cancelled, or Love Farmer, Shadow Fiend, and a Timbersaw. Like I said, Timbersaw can create so much input lanes really easily. You don't have, say, farm for Luna entirely, as long as Timbersaw a lot of towers, which means your map is getting smaller and smaller, at least your effective map. Luna with an Invis rune, I don't even know how to TP at the same time, I guess. Or TP immediately after the Invis rune, goes in for the Shadow Fiend, that's pretty good for the Requiem. Not of course, the Spirit, and the split comes out. Kaka has to help out, he can still steal the split. Trying to give some space with Timbersaw, who's healing back up entirely. The Cyclone stopping this Timbersaw. The Master Raid boss is unkillable here. They're just waiting for the Brewmaster to souls. Hits Ace in the face, and it's his Shadow Fiend as the Brewmaster deals with Rubik. But got the Chakram about to destroy MS. MS trying to run away best they can. And MS is gone. In the backline, this is around King Gaming Luminous as they take a tower to gift for them as well. With that, the guys at Newbee can take a tier 2 quickly for them. And are here in the bottom lane. Kaipi losing his life. I think Kaipi is just sacrificing himself to create some whole time, but since Mugi's been doing so well, it doesn't really matter. Mugi is actually has a stop, but also went for a Hood Defiance. And I mean, Mugi is able to complete. Let's go now start threatening for kills that will give him extra charges. Key Gaming Lumen, because the Viper is super susceptible to all that pure damage that Timbersaw can deal. First damage, and she also has to deal with an annoying Shadow Fiend. And obviously that's not what you want to have to withstand the team fights. Usually, like, for the extra bonus of the farming bonus, BKB, if you use Eclipse early, I mean, that's so much style push or even Hurricane. That could be my voice at this point. I think the microphone is fake too many problems for people that were here before, so my voice could have been SPC continuing against the Roshan, a bit annoyed. The Timbersaw, but she's not annoyed at all. He can heal this completely. Roshan will fall, give the ages to Mugi. No, SCC. Okay, Mugi seems unkillable, so I also understand that entirely. Well, lose the with it. SCC not such valuable, so that's really important. Now KGL go to the top left. Swinging in just to push make sure that Newbee cannot really threaten them. As you can see, as soon as they leave their lane, immediately Newbee comes in and tries to hit the Viper soon. Maybe an Atos would not be a bad item for Timbersaw or a Shiva. So they deal a lot of damage, but they'd like to have something more to come with. So we'll see. Keep on taking these towers and defend this. I mean, they have almost split. Taka pretty eager to stop us. They even have Luna starting to do a bit of split pushing, but they can threaten us anytime. Up black holes a bit. The poor Luna, and they're gonna use the black hole. They've been silenced. Why would he do that? Okay, Luna's gonna go down anyway. Apparently, they're toxin used, and the Rubik gets the kill onto roll. No, last second map team. They just need vision of her now. 10 HP, and finding the shrine in time. Newbee, you commit black hole there because he was out with 20 Bloodstone charges. 20 react armor stacks, unkillable. As the is used by Luna, they do kill the Enigma, but Mid has died, so all you can do is avenge him. And of course, you can't reach her in time, that's why you need to not going to go down. Ace, and another kill, more than 3 kills for Newbee, and definitely the tower being taken away. Newbee will proceed as a pipe finished by Mugi is going to help him push a bit further as well. And getting all the active auto stacks. She's broken, she's destroyed. And Requiem of Souls cancelled by a good silence. Now the split, it can turn this around back up enough. As Triple C still has the 8 up entirely. As Triple C, the Brewling's about to expire. They stick it in. They have to stop the Shadow Shaman somehow. They don't have enough damage. That's with the snowball. They just bring in silence. They just don't want to let the Shadow Fiend do it. Swagger away. Doesn't care. But you don't want to let me use my ultimate. I'm going to use it with Kaipi. Wants to come in. He has the perfect timing for the black hole. Actually, no, he's master. Mugi deals way too much damage. And they continue with this attack here in mid lane. As tower finally, maybe the Shrine taking their way. Timbersaw has been broken. There's McKay anyway. As SCC continues to attack these towers. Timbersaw means he's unkillable. They still have black hole, but they don't want to fight this apparently because it's being bad, I suppose. I mean, Newbee is having complete domination in this game. 14 KL has much chances of recovery, but of course they have to try. After all, he steps himself forward, steals a loosened beam, and walks away. They silence him, and then with this, all the Eidolons helping out special Blink Dagger. He can catch the Brewmaster still. Again, that ability, super two people in it. It's good enough black hole. Not really looking for the perfect black hole here. Mookie just keep on threatening. The Shadow Fiend as he now proceeds to go to the mid lane again. They put pressure top, and he can still attack him of soul because he's unable to use it, so they might as well try. Not really waiting for any. Shadow Fiend with the Enigma Eidolons are able to push 3 lanes. That 3. I went for tier 2 and tier 3 at the same time. But they don't care about that extra gold too much as they're not looking for any key items just yet. I think Rod of Atos might even be a more auto for Montestal and BKB. Yeah, in the right time. The black hole isn't that on Enigma. There's so many ways to cancel it. And that's he needs his BKB to actually attack this. Going for the shrines early might also or not. And the TP, you don't know what's going to happen. Meanwhile, King Gaming, you do have the Luna pretty far, you can do a fair amount of damage, and also control the rest of him is done. The Blink Dagger for the Brewmaster. The Viper, I mean, he's trying to go for a Maelstrom just for a bit of damage. I don't know if that's the best option. It will help him recover though by pushing them out. And okay, and they will now continue just putting pressure, reducing the falling speed. Or Newbee does not in a rush. However, they will lose Kaka. He's really clever. He does get hit eventually. Okay. Even clever boys end up dying. Kaka creating a bit of spell in the form of Nether Toxin. He can spams it, but you lose the Viper. The Brewmaster's forced to use the split immediately, and Esther C will go for the Requiem of Souls again on the counter, and Esther uses the Requiem of Souls a single time. But he sees both the Earth Spirit and the Luna. That black hole, chuck him on top of that wipe. Only hero survives here is Fu, but that's gonna be the end of him. Requiem of Souls by Esther C just for. And in the end, they destroy the rest of the King Gaming Luminous, which go for the quick GG. They can't beat Newbee, so that's the end of it. Best of 3 will be losing their spot in this tournament. However, Newbee will be advancing to the next round of the losers brackets where they can still against the guys, whoever loses between Vici and Vici. That said, guys, whatever maybe you were watching, please feel free to follow me. You can also do my kind of stuff, you know, getting tiresome. So you get the whole idea. Why? Because I'm here to improve, and we'll come back tomorrow with some more H Cup. For now, the H Cup is done. I encourage you to watch more Chinese Dota and ESL if you want to, or if not, you know, take a nice rest and hope you enjoy your night tonight as we're getting ready for New Year's. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the game Vici Gaming versus Vici Gaming J Thunder. If you're gonna see when that happens, I do suggest again you follow, join Discord, whatever. And if you don't care, you can always check out the schedule. All right. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more Chinese Dota. Why? Because I'm here to improve, and we'll come back tomorrow with some more H Cup. For now, the H Cup is done. I encourage you to watch more Chinese Dota and ESL if you want to, or if not, you know, take a nice rest and hope you enjoy your night tonight as we're getting ready for New Year's. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the game Vici Gaming versus Vici Gaming J Thunder. If you're gonna see when that happens, I do suggest again you follow, join Discord, whatever. And if you don't care, you can always check out the schedule. All right. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more Chinese Dota. Why? Because I'm here to improve, and we'll come back tomorrow with some more H Cup. For now, the H Cup is done. I encourage you to watch more Chinese Dota and ESL if you want to, or if not, you know, take a nice rest and hope you enjoy your night tonight as we're getting ready for New Year's. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the game Vici Gaming versus Vici Gaming J Thunder. If you're gonna see when that happens, I do suggest again you follow, join Discord, whatever. And if you don't care, you can always check out the schedule. All right. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more Chinese Dota.